10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back to another seasonal episode. Tim, how's it going?
I can hear you. Oh, I should get my mic.
Yeah, he's out of sorts, folks.
What's up with my mic? It's all.
Well, there's some guys named Aaron and Cam. I told you we're in here.
Yeah, that's right. They had a sleepover.
Mudge pudging around.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Oh, look at these characters.
Which one? Oh, yeah, it's Emoji Race.
Emoji Race.
Yep. So there's a couple ways that you can vote on the Emoji Race tonight. And one of them is you just got to guess the name. So of the 8 flies, is there 8 there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of the 8 flies that we've tied this season.
There we go. Pick your emoji. Ooh, do you call the emoji or the name?
Yeah.
But you got to put it in the comments.
Well, you can put the emoji in the comments.
Oh, you could do that. I
or
like that.
you can put the fly name. So there you go. There you go. We're going to run 4 rounds of races, each time eliminating the winner. And folks, this is not much more than just simply
get those fingers ready because you're going to need them.
Just
critic.
Your fingers
okay,
ready.
what are you going with? What are you going with?
All right. So if it's up to me, I'm going to go with the Pinocchio nose, the
minnow.
Laser minnow. I'm going with the laser minnow. So get your bets in, folks. Let us know. What do you got going on here? Happy Thursday. It is great to be back for Season 7, Episode 5. If it is your first time here, don't leave. Please. It just gets better and better as the show goes on. And this is called... I got to think of a name for it.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't.
It's like... Yeah, me too.
Fly races or...
It's like fly toga.
Fly toga.
It's yoga and fly tying.
Oh, fly toga.
So we're fly toga. This is fly toga, folks. And
toga. We should do toga night.
Toga night. What do we do there?
Just wear dresses.
Togas?
Yeah.
Well, we've got our 2D printing on.
Oh, yeah.
In honor of our new friend Sketchy.
Sketch.
It's Sketchy night here on season. I don't know the difference between season and episodes.
Season 7,
all
episode
right,
5.
Everybody's
Let's
got.
go.
See, now they're all going with laser minnow.
No, it's Parmachine Bell time, baby.
Okay, Parmachine Bell for you. Laser minnow.
Let's see it. What's
Laser
going to happen?
for me. All right, here we go. It's a 25-second race. And as soon as I hit start.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go, Bell. Wow, that's kind of creepy.
It's okay. It's okay. Money bags and snot booger.
Come on.
Booger snot. Snorting's done. Snorting.
he's out.
Oh, there
he'll
goes
come
the
out.
minnow.
Come on, Bell. What are you doing?
Going to take it all the way.
No, I told you he's coming back.
No.
Look at him go.
Oh, this is
Oh,
moment.
no way. From behind. Look at him go.
Oh, that's where we thought it was. The
He's so mad.
moment. I don't know if anybody.
I didn't see any of the midge in there. Oh, Barry got it.
Did he?
Yeah,
Did he?
right there.
The mayor.
The mayor.
The mayor. Let's see if anybody else. I don't know if you guys can, but you should be able to put the emoji in the comments. If you want to go on the next round, give this a like, give it a thumbs up, give it a heart, and that means you, my friends, are going on to the next round.
Oh, I can't believe that was
not
terrible.
The laser meadow.
Definitely not.
All right, all the sounds here are intense. Going on in my ear. I don't know which mouse to grab, but we're gonna go erase the mole midge and
Erase the rest
get
of them.
ready to run again.
Okay, what are you going? What are you doing?
All right, folks. Because how do I feel? I think maybe you just go with how you feel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the egg sucking leech and cowboy girl lips, big brown lips.
I think I'm gonna go with the money. I'm gonna stick with Belle down there.
All right, you're going with the Parmesan
Yeah,
Bell.
Parmesan
If
Bell,
you've
round two.
given this live stream a thumbs up or a big old giant heart, then you're more than welcome to play round 2 with us, folks. Get ready, put your guess, your answer, whatever it is, in the comments because this is Fly Toga. It is yoga and fly tying, and it's getting your fingers warmed up, right? You got to type, you got to get your fingers going because you don't have your vise going. So you have the ability to now enter things in the keyboard because that's what makes the show go around is the comments. See, look, we got emojis in there.
Oh, Cole's in there.
You got the cowboy.
cowboy.
All right, we're going to go in 3, 2, 1.
Terry's got the bell sucking leech. I'm not sure that's one of them.
Well, maybe that leech does suck the bell.
It could be.
Maybe Parmesan she's going to
No,
get.
she's going too fast, too soon.
No, the cowboy.
Oh, come on,
There it
Parm.
goes. Oh,
Come on, Parm.
look at Laser
Laser.
Minnow. I
Come
knew
on,
it.
Belle.
I had that horse
Come on,
in round.
Belle.
Look at this.
Look at him go.
There's going to be a behind the. Look at egg sucking leech. Come on.
Come on.
Come on, buddy.
She just stuck it the whole time.
Oh, man.
Second place.
I knew I should have stuck with my laser minnow.
That sucks.
When the laser minnow wins, it doesn't even look happy. That's the sad part.
He just looks like he's a
That's
liar.
the sad part. We're going to head back here.
All right.
And we're down to 6, folks. We've lost 2. We've got 2 more races to go. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a heart. Give us whatever you want to do before we start. But more importantly, write your answer down. Who do you think's going to win race 3 of the night? We have taken out the best horses because we had emails last week of cheating. People thought we were cheating.
How?
I don't know. I don't know.
I did go 3 for 4, so.
That's what I meant.
And
I
now-
emailed the program producer and said, "What's happening?" And
We have one of those?
no,
You're looking at him, folks.
it's 2 people. These 2 clowns.
Those 2 clowns.
These 2 clowns here. That is who.
Okay.
All right. Everyone getting
I'm
their
going
answers
Belle.
in.
I got to stick with her.
Well, I got to go back to the cowboy.
Kaba.
Egg sucking leech. Egg sucking leech. All right, we got 2 more of these races, folks. Get your comments scrolling, rolling. This might be everybody's favorite part of the night.
Might be.
We will bring the monsters back for
Yeah,
everybody
they
who's
were-
a little worried.
they were
It just
so
got a little out of hand last week. But I thought we could tame it down with a little bit of an emoji race.
Sam Juan.
All right, Sam Juan for Josh, Barry Dickhow, the mayor, who has won one of the races tonight, and Dave Jackson. See, he only shows up for
I
this
know.
part.
I think, and he's at work on shift right now, so
Oh, he's getting paid to play.
I like it.
That's all right. Paul D picks the poo. I don't see any poo racing there. All right, folks, get your answers in because you cannot get them in once. You can. We don't control any of that.
It's a good try though.
Money bags for Cole. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Come on, Parm.
All right, egg sucking leech. It
Come
looks
from
like it's
behind.
neck and neck. The poacher gets a little bit of a wobbly bobbly out
He's
front.
sweating.
Here comes here comes
Oh,
Booger.
come on, Belle. What are you doing?
Oh God, not even
She's
in
not
the
even on the
screen.
screen anymore.
Sham Wan looks like Paul or Josh.
Oh, she's coming. She's
Oh.
coming.
Why
She's
are you
coming.
kidding me?
She's coming. Let's go. Woo! Oh, man. She's my girl. She's my girl. Look at that.
Oh.
Heck yeah. Parmesan Bell for the win, folks.
Did you
1 for
see?
3.
I wish we had a replay of that one. That
She was out of the screen.
Well, guess what? Now she's out of the
Now
game.
she's gone.
She's gone. Your Belle.
Now
Your
who?
beautiful Belle. We're down to 5, and I believe this is the last race of the day.
All
The
right.
last round of Fly Toga.
All right. Film critic. Film
How
critic
did that
it is.
even? That's the cheating I'm talking about.
Well, I didn't cheat. I lost 2 in a row. 2 in a row.
All right. See, Roger is actually angry.
Okay. I got the critic. What do you
Egg
got?
suck and leech again.
You're going with it,
Yeah,
eh?
well, because I switched up after the first one and then they won,
Right.
and I gotta stay with
Stick
my
it
horse.
out. Okay.
The odds for the egg suck and leech are 50 to 1. We gotta figure out how to actually put this into odds. People can bet on it.
Yeah.
how
Another
we're-
revenue
it's how we're
source.
gonna
That's
make
how we're going to make money.
And when you said
And the
it-
show lives on another year.
and boys and girls, it was the emoji race that got us over the hump. All right,
man.
get your bets, get your racers entered, and we're gonna give you 5, 4. This will be the last race of the day until next Thursday. 1.
Let's go.
All right, here we
right.
go. We got 23 seconds.
Come on, critic.
And as you saw last time, Power Machine Belle came in from the back of the race, so far out you couldn't even read her name. Well, there goes my egg suck and leech. And obviously the poacher who
Come on.
always gets. Oh, Kate.
Kate's in it.
No, wait, dude. We look at
Oh,
this.
here he
film
comes.
credits coming
Here he comes.
in.
Not fast
No.
enough. He's not fast enough. No.
Kate.
Come
Olfer.
You're 0 for 4.
Straight up.
You got
Olfer.
oofed. Oofed. 1 for 4. That's terrible.
Wow. Did anybody else do as bad as me?
I think
want to
so.
know. See, people got excited to throw in their answers after the race was already like half over.
Yeah, that's what we should be doing. Make our
Yeah.
picks near the end.
Yep.
That's how you cheat, folks.
We got to find out what the book is on these, on the odds of this. So, anyways, welcome Thursday Night Live Fly Tying. We do tie flies.
We do.
And
Eventually.
Roger, I think Vegas is a little riskier than this.
Yeah. Let's put it all on black.
And yeah, because you guys are amazing and because all the sponsors are amazing, we're just going to say thanks to the sponsors. And then we're going to come back and we're going to say hi to you guys. And let us know where you're from, what you're drinking, and did you go 0 for 4 just like Dina?
Innovation is in our DNA here at Fishpond, and this year we're raising the bar. From the brand new Storm Shadow line with industry-first weather resistance to new Nomad Net models crafted for any application. Built for every mile, the entire line is crafted for the rugged demands of adventure travel to the ease of everyday angling. Head on over to fishpondusa.com to find a dealer near you.
Times and places are all in who you share them with, and it's life. And the point is enjoying who you share it with. Joy is who you share it with. And the weeks and the weekends are keeping close who you spend them with.
All right. Because we promised you we would be tying flies,
Yes, we are.
and we don't therefore want to lie.
That's one of them. That's the other one of
The
them.
first fly that we're going to be tying tonight is this guy.
Parachute Madam X.
Lots going on a littler hook, a little bigger than you guys are used to with your smaller wet flies.
Yeah, that's true.
But never in doubt. It is always fun tying flies for trout.
It is that.
See what I did there?
Yeah, you did good.
But you can get your package out.
Yeah.
And not that one, but your TNL fly tying kit package. And Tim will show you what it looks like. It'll be under episode 5. And if you don't have one of these kits, our season 7 fly tying kits, well, that's fine too. Begrudgingly, that's fine. But go over to our website just as we show right here, and the whole recipe's there. And if you click on that, you can get your materials. And then after the show, you go over there and click on this Learn to Tie, and it will be the quick tie that Tim wrangled up before the show tonight. And it's just the fly. It's just simply how to tie the fly. It's not the show, it's just the fly. So some people tie along with us, some people just hang out and drink and whatnot, and that's fine too. But so many different ways to participate in making you a better fly tyer from Thursday Night Live.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying? For that first fly, if you want to get some thread spooled up, just grab yourself some black UTC 70 or something just a little smaller. We don't want a big thick thread for that one, so go with something a little thinner you got, and either olive or black would be great.
Nice. Yeah, so you're getting that up, and we want to say hi to you guys, the friends, the fam, the TNL FAM, and Doug Lindsay.
Hey, Doug. What's up, buddy?
Somebody gave us a thumbs down, and that's unfortunate, but it happens.
Search them out. Where are they?
Apparently it happens. We'll
They
find
must have
you.
just lost their race.
That's a good point. They didn't win. They were 0-4. So Doug is fine. Oh, he's in Cheyenne tonight. Is it windy there? Typically it is. Maybe he's in the same time zone.
Maybe.
So there's lots of things going on. We tie a couple flies. We're going to drink some craft beer. We got some Beer 30 reviews coming up, and we're going to play FLYINGO. So at the top of the screen there's a scroller telling you how to get your FLYINGO cards. They're totally free. Go over to our website, and you get a chance to win what, Tim? Because
we got some stuff. It's growing.
The Hyde Drift Boat prize cash has grown substantially because this is week 3 that 2 weeks nobody's won because the Wizard crushed them, and we're rolling into week 3. So the prizes are 3 times the size.
They just keep growing. So from us here at FFBR, we've got 2 different fly boxes. How many flies do you say were in these things?
2 dozen in each.
2 dozen in each. Some great nymphs.
Yeah, so 4 dozen flies, lots
Really
of
good
flies.
nymphs.
Oh, and then what's in there? This looks like a sticker.
There is, and the one from last week, there's a Captain Clutch sticker in there. Definitely don't want to
What
miss
does
out on
that do, Tim?
Saves your bacon when it comes to the
Saves
doors
your
of
bacon.
doom.
It gives you a real big chance of winning when you win.
We got another hat here from us at FFBR. We got 3 hats in total now. We got one from Grundens, and we've got from our sponsors Fishpond. We got one of their awesome hats here as well. And then also from Fishpond, we have the Fishpond puck.
Oh, those are the greatest thing on the
best.
planet. Make sure you check out fishpondusa.com/TNL. What else we got? There's more.
There's more. There's 3 more clothing items. So
Oh
you've
my
got
goodness.
our, probably one of my favorite sun shirts we've ever done, which is our camel pattern Fly Fishing Bover Outfitters.
Boom.
We've got a hoodie here from Grundens as well. Beautiful trout art on the back. Very, very nice. And then we have a sun shirt here from another one of our sponsors, Wolf Creek Angler.
Nice. Wolf Creek Anglers on the Missouri River.
Boom.
In
That is
Wolf
quite the
Creek. In Wolf Creek, obviously. Mr. Pape is still in Baltimore and drinking Eli
Let me guess,
Craig.
bourbon? Yeah.
Single barrel bourbon. And he went 1-4 on the races.
Not
so
bad.
A little better than
Cheers
I
to
did.
you. Cheers to you.
And Roger sipping on some 2 Tree salted caramel whiskey, enjoying the high life.
Nice.
North Carolina.
Carolina.
Yeah. Tamara. Excited to play with some foam tonight. Probably my favorite flies to build, as I would agree a lot of people
Yeah.
If you like foam, this one tonight's got a lot of foam.
You're going to want to do it so you can get one of these.
Oh, what are those, Tim? Why don't you tell everybody?
These are all your badges you can get awarded with this year. If you can get through all the foam flies, you can receive the Foam Fanatic. Also, as we've done a few of them already, if you get through all the nymphs, you get the Nymph Master badge.
Wow.
And the only way to get these stickers is to tie the flies and show them to us. If you tie all the streamers, Streamer Supreme. And the last, and maybe some of the toughest at times, the Surfer Specialist, the dry flies.
Oh, yeah.
Foam not included. And if you manage to get through all of those, then you are going to become...
Oh, my goodness. Tell us,
Season
Tim.
7 Legend.
Legend.
And that's really the badge you want.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
you
one
got to
want.
get all the other 4 there.
You
To
do.
become the legend of Season 7, it's kind of an honor system. You're just going to send us a photo of all the flies. You don't have to tie all 5 of them because sometimes we don't get through all 5 depending on material use or material packed in a
Quantity, yep.
way. But you tie one of them and each of them. So all 26 patterns, you become a legend.
Legend.
Absolute legend. Michael Barrett from Snowy. It's snowing in Edmonton.
Yeah, it was snowing yesterday too.
Gosh
Crazy.
darn it, what's going on up there?
The Great North.
Ken, also excited to win FLYINGO tonight. Don't bother trying. Ken does have a Captain Clutch now. It's kind of like putting on a protection after the fact is done, after the deed is done. And then naming your kid should've.
Shoulda, woulda.
Shoulda Raptor.
Oh, man. Got Joel in the house.
Shoulda Raptor McCutcheon.
Used my Fishpond rod carrier and backpack all through Columbia last week. Flawless products.
Flawless
Oh,
products.
that's tried and tested right there.
That's the tribe right there. That's amazing.
awesome.
That trip looked so fun.
It did.
Jealous. But I heard the bugs were bad.
Yeah, that's a downer.
That's a downer.
That's a
That's
downer.
a Debbie Downer. Rusty Pool from LaGrange, Texas, sipping on some Dr. Pepper.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yes, it is dry January, and I believe a lot of people are going to start crushing on some craft beers and keeping up with us once that February TikTok clock rolls around, which is on Saturday.
Saturday.
Man, January's almost gone.
That's
We're on
crazy. It's
episode
just
5.
flying by, as always. It's nuts.
Time flies. Time flying by.
Time flying
be
by. So many of
something.
them back there. It's crazy.
I'm going to have to take a sick day to catch up on ties. Well, if you do want to become a legend and
Yes,
reach all
John.
of your milestones, I highly recommend.
You should definitely
Something
do
like
that. Oh,
Okay. I'm just leaving.
just checking, making sure.
Oh, I forgot. Did anybody check out one of our videos from last week? Oh, shoot, I was supposed to put it. I was supposed to put it in here. Let's see if I can.
Are you a humble person?
Guys, check it out. Actually, what I'm going to do, like totally off script, because we don't do that kind of stuff, is, so I'm the DJ on the show, the one making the music happen, and I quite often get ripped on for it.
Yeah, sometimes.
And so I didn't pay this guy, but I just opened up one of our YouTube videos, and anyways, that's what I saw in the comments.
And his day and
Best-
year were made.
Background music in the fly tying world. Thanks from the Crow's Nest Pass. I
Love
mean, when you're good, you're good.
Yeah, I mean,
But I only needed to share it with you guys because
tell us.
you guys rip on me so much. So we're gonna head over. Oh wow, that stayed on the screen. Look at that. It's not going. You know what? I'll leave it here, and I can just pop it up.
It won't leave.
I just pop it up. I just pop it up whenever I need it.
Man. Claude's enjoying a hazy IPA from Sawback Brewing. Have a keg of theirs in the kegerator. Very nice.
That's amazing. All right, well, you know what we need to do? We need to head over here quickly before we get into the beer 30.
Oh, Bacon Cam.
All
Back
right,
from
folks.
Black Stag Bakery.
Black Stag Bakery.
What has she got for us tonight?
Well, we're just gonna
Watch
watch
peek
what
here.
we got going on here.
My mom did tell me you need to show what she actually makes earlier, so before she goes to bed, she can see it.
Oh.
She was pretty disappointed
Was
last
she?
week. Yeah.
All right, well, we'll try to get quicker on the bacon cam.
Oh man, what is?
It's magic going in there.
How does she get these camera angles?
I don't know. But the bacon cam has come alive thanks to Maggie Murphy at Black Snake Bakery. And if you scan the QR code, remember guys, tomorrow is the start of her pre-orders. And I took a big old screenshot of the things that she's making. Okay, so you pre-order. And then on February 14th, there's a market in town called the Valentine's Day Market. And between 3:30 and 5:30, you can set them for pickup. Okay, but what you can probably also do is work out something if you can't get here that I can pick them up, Maggie drop them off. We'll make sure you get them. But scan that QR code at the top there. And then, did we already watch that video once?
Yep.
I think
We saw that one.
we're ready for the next one. As I keep talking about the Valentine's Day Market, so you go on and she's got you pre-order whatever you want that she's making, and then you'll be able to pick it up. Ooh. So, tiramisu brownies, which we had last week.
Yeah.
Sour cherry hand pies.
Oh man,
That was like we had the apple, the first the hand pies. Strawberry rhubarb tart with citrus shortbread crumble.
Oof. Okay, go on.
And a gluten-free version of the tart will be available. So, nice. Chaz, if you're here and not throwing beanbags around, banana toffee scone.
Oh, that sounds really good.
And then more in the savory department, we got roasted red pepper, oregano, and cheddar scone, which I've heard it might be one of the best savory things in the planet.
Well,
we don't have that
only
tonight.
one way to find out.
I see vanilla going in there, so
yeah, I don't think it's savor.
And a chocolate hazelnut Danish by the brand name Nutella.
Oh,
Nutella Danish. And most importantly, for all you lovers of Valentine's Day, I thought I remembered it. Heart-shaped sugar cookies, I believe, is what it was. Nice. Anyways, we'll be back checking it. Oh, look, we're folding stuff in here. That's absolutely magical.
I'm never close though. Like watching the videos, I would never have any idea what it's gonna be.
No, but it just gets the Black Snake Bakery. You can find her on Instagram too. And you like the new scene I built for
I do.
it?
It's very
okay.
parlor-ish.
Yeah,
I like it.
Like parlor.
Almost like a bakery.
Yeah. Like hair parlor. Anyways, we got to do some beer reviews.
Yes, we do.
Beer 40! Join Dana and Tim as they sip, savor, and sometimes suffer through craft beer adventures.
Keep those hands to yourself.
Oh, that's a bad move. Anyways.
Is this a double IPA?
No, we're going to start soft,
okay,
Tim,
good.
with something called the Calgary beer. Because,
Calgary beer.
well, that's where we're from, folks. Basically, Calgary, Alberta.
Are we?
Well, that's where we guide.
That's true. That's true.
And we're representing Calgary.
We're representing.
So it's Calgary beer. I can show you the can, but it's on screen, so.
A little closer. It's a session ale, a clean, easy drinking session ale with light malt sweetness and a crisp, refreshing finish. A true taste of Calgary tradition.
That's right. Where'd you get that?
I'm just reading it.
Where?
On the screen.
Where does it say? Oh, right there.
The brewery is called Village Brewery, location Calgary, Alberta.
I was like, you did your homework.
I did. I just memorized it. It has an IBU of 20, so pretty light. 4.5%.
It's just not hoppy.
Well, that's what I mean. Light. I don't want that one. Give me that one. He just pours a big one for him.
That's what we do. We give reviews on beer at Beer 30. Calgary beer, a session ale. I think it's going to be pretty easy drinking.
I think it smells really good. Like I'm thinking it's going to be a middle of the pack for sure.
Old Buffalo Head beer.
Yeah. Dana and Tim are not responsible for the taste of the beer, your bad decisions after drinking it, or questionable fly tying disasters made with while watching this show. Sip responsibly and laugh generously. I had to wait for it.
Here we go.
Didn't memorize that one.
You can't even memorize a one-word end tagline.
Oh, I couldn't. I get so...
Try your beer.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Oh, that's good.
That is very good.
I'm
going to need that can.
That is... I honestly,
Yep.
if that's not number one on your list,
I can't knock out
yeah, I know.
that very one though. It's gonna go second for now.
Yeah,
I've been needing it.
I
so-
agree. That is a tremendous. Travis, I must have started drinking early if Dana can't see the screen. It's just,
Heavy.
I just was impressed that he was like,
How did he know?
I was reading something. I was like,
Yeah, that is fantastic.
oh, that's a good beer.
Never even heard of this one.
Well, that's why we do beer 30.
Okay, I'm ready to vote.
Yeah, I'm in.
I'm going 4.
Really?
Yep. 4 for me.
I'm going first.
Oh, he's going all the way, folks.
Dude, that is a great
Oh,
beer.
Okay, 4. 4, 5. Not bad. It's a big 26-inch brown trout.
And you only got a 20 brown trout on a size 22 midge.
Maybe he's prettier though. Prettier, smaller, but prettier.
That's fine. It's a great accomplishment to get him on size 22-inch midge.
Yeah,
and
no
not
kidding.
Break it off like Bruce.
We've got a new fly for you, Bruce. It's just as bad as the other one.
It's this foam one. He can see it. The dancing
The
Ricky
midge hopper.
stonefly. That's great. That's really
Yeah,
good.
That's very easy to drink.
We're gonna peace out, not try the other one.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I know. I think we got to do 2, or we're not gonna have enough time. I mean, who cares?
Are we on a schedule?
Stay, win, lose. Who gave us a thumbs down? This is not for you.
Can I get on my phone to see if I can search this guy down? I bet it's Cole. 0 for 4.
That's good. That's a great beer. Like, that has flavor. It's kind of what I would say a little light malt, sweet. Yeah, I was just gonna say it. I don't even know what I'm doing here.
What
I'm just
talking about.
I'm just trying things out, putting them in my mouth.
Can't find him.
A true taste of Calgary tradition. So I like Calgary.
Yeah.
And I do recommend if you come up here, you're gonna head over to Village Brewery and grab your. Well, you can actually go anywhere. Try it out.
You can actually go anywhere, but you could go there. Yeah, that's good.
All right, we're gonna do one more beer. One more. Uno más cerveza. Take these ratings off the
Por
screen.
favor.
That's the Calgary beer.
Yeah, that's good.
And the next one here is from our friends over at Born Brewing Company, which we got something, I could say, brewing in the brew, something heating up with our new friends over at Born Brewing that we can't wait to share with you guys. But for now, hey, Cutie.
I think I'm really going to like that one.
Yeah, Tim's excited for this one. So
Yeah. IBU of 10.
There
That's
you
how I
go.
know I'm going to like it.
there you go. Keep doing
So, okay,
your job.
so because I memorized it, I'll read it to you.
Where are you seeing this?
So this
that
is
sounds
a,
exactly like what I wrote.
yeah. This is a refreshing citrus wheat ale brewed with real mandarin oranges, light, crisp, and perfect for the easy drinking. One sec.
Chug it.
And this is Born Brewing Co. This isn't the first one we've had of theirs, right? That was the other one on my list. See if you can get 2 of them. Okay, I'm taking the small one this time. Oh, that very much smells like very citrusy.
So normally we just drink it from a can, but our friend Dave Rutherford suggested we pour it in a glass to kind of open up the, and then we get that full mouth nose in the cup. I don't know if it helps or hinders, but
I think it
Hi
helps.
Cutie, a wheat ale brewed with raspberry and mint. I love the can.
Yeah, the
It
can's
just-
cute.
I
It's a cute
walked in
can.
there and it spoke to me.
Did it? Are you one of these guys that buys them based off of the can?
It's a fact. I am a fact. If you guys do that, when you go craft beer shopping, does the can matter?
Oh, this is the
Let us
question.
know in
Is
the
it
comments.
gonna-
But this one did speak to me.
All right, let's try.
Let's do it.
It's not going to make top 3.
No.
No, that's a bummer. I was really excited. It's not bad. It's just not great. You don't like it at all. Doesn't really taste like beer.
No. Trying to think of what it tastes like. It has that like very like alcohol,
Like a cooler.
like sparkly kind of taste to it. Feel.
It's like
mouth feel.
communion juice.
We'll let it sit
Yeah,
a bit.
I don't know.
Like Dave told us. And then we'll come back.
We'll vote on it.
I'm
a
not
bit.
ready to rank
not-
it
yeah,
yet
I don't
because
know.
I think it needs to open up in my mouth.
Ah, Dana.
So
We
you've been
changed to
telling me.
emojis and everything.
What you even tell? Huh? Dave's gone. His game's over.
Yeah. Yeah. You never responded. Dave, are you still there at work watching?
Okay, we do two things before we tie this fly, and we're gonna tie the PMX first.
Okay, hold on a second. Roger says, beers are like women. The packaging gets you interested, but it's what's on the inside that seals the deal.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
But I do get totally hung up. Hey, Dave Spencer's in the house.
Oh, what's up, Dave?
And
what's up, brother?
I think Bruce's comment is towards him breaking off all the. Well, Dave Spencer also did that in the mountains the one year.
Yeah.
He requested stronger tippet, and I couldn't get a 0x through a 22-inch, size 22 midge. But
Hey,
I'm working on that. I'm ordering size 22 flies with giant hook.
yeah, just they're kind of like the salmon flies where they make them out of like rope, so you
Oh,
can
yeah.
just whatever size you need to get on there.
Yeah, well, some of the hooks this year kind of went out without full comprehension of a eye.
Yeah.
Like the old days, the OG hooks. Mr. Ritzko had one, I believe.
Yep.
And that's how it goes sometimes. You just got to get creative on those. See,
Yeah, you
Dave
do.
Spence is laughing. He knows the truth. All right, so we introduced you guys last week. Man, I can't even catch my breath.
Come on.
7:35. We got so much good stuff for you guys, but most importantly, our friend we introduced him to last week,
We did.
Baldy Bob,
Baldy Bob.
the guy at the fly shop. He's back. He called. He said,
Another story to tell.
"Yeah, he's just got stories." And so I said, "Hey, you know what? Thumbs up or thumbs down. That's what we need to hear from the people, whether he sticks or he goes."
Yep.
And
Let us know.
anyways, here's another story from our friend, that guy at the fly shop, Baldy Bob.
Baldy Bob.
Well, it's me again, folks. Baldy Bob. You might have recognized me from your favorite fly shop or from a fly tying show that I did a little skit on one time, and quite simply, that's kind of made me pretty famous. So here I am again. Just as you maybe didn't hear me the first time, but my name is Baldy Bob, the fishing legend, the teller of truths, and a man with a mustache built for adventure. I suggest that you stick around and find out what story Baldy Bob has for you. All right. Anyways, here it goes. Here it goes. Now, picture this. Me, deep in the backcountry. Wind howling, the fish rising. But guess what? Guess what? You're not gonna believe what I'm about to tell you. But I am fresh out of flies. None. Absolutely none. You heard that right. A seasoned angler just like me, questionably. You're gonna question it, but simply, I am all out of flies. And, I'm down to nothing but my wits. And, of course, this fine mustache you see dangling off the participles of my nose. So anyways, well, now some of you folks might have just simply packed up and gone home. Oh, not Baldy Bob. Well, I took a long, hard look at my resources, and then it hit me. It hit me. And I said, well, I've got this premium tying material right under my nose. Literally, right like I talked to you about before. So I plucked a few of these mustache hairs off of my of my mustache, because that's where the mustache hairs come from, and tied him to a hook, and bam, bam, bam. Instantly, fish candy, first cast, wham! Trout so big, I thought I had a hooked a runaway canoe. Second cast, boom! Double header, third cast, well, it turns out mustache hair ain't questionably quite as durable as, anyways, came clean off the hook, and, but, you know, weirdly enough, let's focus on the positives here, because, let's be real, if I had a TNL Season 7 kit, this never would have happened, because 26 patterns is enough material to tie each fly 5 times, and I would have been prepared, but what do you know? Anyways, I wouldn't be plucking hairs like a desperate man. Well, don't be a baldy Bob. Don't do it. Get yourself a fly tying kit for Thursday Night Live, and you can tie all these flies, and you're never going to be stuck on the river like I was. And you could say, maybe you'll be the next legend. Anyways, while you're at it, you better have your FLYINGO card, because it's right there. That's how you get it. And it's free, and you want to win prizes, and then you go to the website, www.flyfishingboatriver.com/TNL7, and grab one before the next game starts. Hurry, trust me, you don't want to be the guy without one. Or worse, the guy tying flies out of a mustache hair. Anyways, I've had enough. I'm Baldy Bob, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Oh, thanks, Bob.
Oh, Bob is great, and
What a
I
guy.
think whether you gave him thumbs down or thumbs up, I'm gonna let Bob hang around.
I think Bob's great.
It's great. He's always up to something no good
Yeah.
and telling stories that
Might have some
hard
truth.
to believe. Hard to believe.
Very hard to believe. Oh,
Bob.
man.
Anyways, your comments have
Anyways.
ended. What's happening? Bob Scary Off.
Did you all die?
Did we crash? We're still here.
We're still here.
Yeah,
Haven't
That's
crashed
fine.
in a while.
that's fine. We're gonna tie the PMX, the Madam X.
Just knocking on wood.
Oh, thank goodness. All right. Well, speaking of skits and scenes, and okay, in Bob's honor, I can grow my mustache long enough. I will tie a fly with it.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
there we go.
Travis.
Travis
Come on, let's
loves
see it.
Bob. Everyone loves Bob because, you know, he's harmless.
Yeah,
He just wants to tell a story about 3 26-inch brown trout on the James River.
I've heard they exist.
I've heard the stories.
Yeah.
Sometimes
They
Baldy
sound like
Bob's own
big
fly
stories.
shops. Sometimes they hang out at fly shops. But before we get this fly tied, you got it in there. Everything looks
It's
good. I
right.
haven't checked if the... Yeah, because we switched the size. Blah, 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 beep.
Just got to get
Anyways, we're going to do some...
buggy. It's got to get buggy, that's all.
We got to get buggy, folks. I don't even know what's going on. But let's get buggy for the Madam X. Get your stuff. Sorry,
On
sorry,
a
Tim's
roll
mom.
tonight.
rolling
Your grandparents?
in the deep. Yes. Well, yeah.
Well, if I'm your dad, then they're your grandparents.
Yeah, but you were proud. Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. I forgot.
Yeah.
Like, how does this work?
The hierarchy here?
The lineage. All right.
Oh, bless him.
I'm up, me and you. And in honor of Sketchy Night,
Oh,
well, let's
baby.
figure out what the Madam X has to offer us. Sketchy, what's up, buddy? What's with all this detective setup? Are you solving a mystery or something?
Oh, I am solving a mystery, Dana. A big one. There's this bug out there, and it goes by the name Madam X. Sounds mysterious, sounds dangerous, sounds like trout kryptonite.
Oh, you're not wrong. The Parachute Madam X is a serious fish catching machine. It's a big, bushy, somewhat unsinkable dry fly with a parachute post that makes it easy to see, and trout love it.
Right. And the Madam X part? What's the story? Who is this mysterious lady?
Well, the original Madam X was a legendary attractor pattern created by Doug Swisher, but the parachute version gives it another even better drift, keeping it low on the water while still being highly visible to anglers.
So she's fancy, she floats, and she catches fish like a charm. Sounds like the 007 of the dry flies.
Exactly, it's built for action, stays buoyant, and can imitate a hopper, a stonefly, or just a big juicy meal for a trout.
Wait. Does that mean that the trout know about this fly?
They wish they did, but it is up to us to keep this secret safe and to keep tying them on.
So if I tie one of these on, do I become a secret agent?
Well, Sketchy, you can barely tie your shoes. All right. So you heard a little bit about the Madam X there, and I'm going to just take you through a little bit more because this is getting buggy with Dana. First of all, a little brief history. As we heard in that little skit with Sketchy, the Madam X was created by Doug Swisher in the 80s in the Montana's Bitterroot Valley, where I believe they have some incredible big bug hatches down there. And very popular in the spring, I believe, is kind of when people love to go down there. But yeah, like we said, this fly was designed to be a multi-purpose attractor fly. The Madam X design may have been inspired by John Faust, a Bitterroot fly tyer and fishing guide. Faust's ugly Rudimus fly is similar to the Madam X. The Madam X was also inspired by the stimulator pattern. Will we agree that it is better than a stimmy? I will vouch for that all day long. I do not like the stimmy. It never sits up well enough. So where you would fish the stimmy, I think you need to think of this PMX or the Parachute Madam X to be that fly for you. Remembering the parachute version just improves upon the Madam X, giving it a little higher visibility for the angler, which guides like, because not all clients can see these flies, especially when you're fishing from a boat. Sometimes you're making a little bit longer casts and the sun isn't always in your favor. So tonight we will tie for you Parachute Madam X. What does this fly represent? Well, like we talked about before, it can be fished as a golden stonefly or salmon fly, which is in the Bitterroot Valley. And, well, the golden stoneflies hatch in late spring, early summer, just like they do up here. And the salmon flies will come off in the spring. The PMX works because the rubber legs mimic long legs of a stonefly. The bushy wings resemble the fluttering wings of a stonefly laying eggs, which we're going to talk about more in depth on getting buggy on the next fly. If you ever seen a stonefly in the water, I have a really cool video, but I couldn't find it for you guys. It was of a hatching stonefly done in a time lapse. Also, watching the stonefly skitter on the water is pretty fun too, and that's when they're most vulnerable. And we're going to talk about that a lot more in depth when we get into the next fly, because it is more of the stonefly versus kind of this like all-terrain kind of bug. Fish like a hopper, right? Grasshopper, they're abundant in late summer and early fall. When it's very windy on the water, these flies are getting blown in from the grass, so definitely think about it. Not always do they have to be seen tight to the bank, okay? When they key in on the hoppers, it tends to be a lot of mid-river fish. Just throwing it out there, maybe as one of those pro tips before the pro tips. The parachute posts make it sit a little lower in the water, just like maybe a struggling hopper. Now, the difference in a hopper to stonefly is if you've ever seen a struggling hopper, they actually don't move their legs, because the way the hopper needs to push, okay, to move, they will just sit in the water. Hope you love my demonstration. And they just sit there and their legs do this and they do not move. The stoneflies will skitter and they will actually move on top of the water. So this parachute, I already told you that, but I already told you that. See, I'm just so ahead of my notes because I'm just keen like that. So also a large caddisfly, October caddis, which we see never. But the name would suggest we would see them in October, and sometimes we do. And a big orange fly, you could tie it like a salmon fly because they're very similar to that. And you could also fish it for the October caddis, or just tie it like tonight. We're in a size 14. So 14 or 16. It's going to be harder to tie on a 16. It's hard to tie on a 14. But you could liken it to some more tan colors versus this red. Or you could just straight up fish it as an attractor pattern. Maybe it's your first fly of the day as you're just bombing around the river, and bam, how to fish it. Just like we've all talked about for the last 5 to 10 minutes is really fun because dead drift, twitch and a skitter. When do you twitch and you skitter? That's a great question because oftentimes we're like, man, don't touch it, leave it. And then they go to pick up to recast and bam, it hits it. So I don't know if I have the right answer for you, but I would suggest to you thinking of it like a science project. So if you have the ability to stay in the same spot, because then I'm talking drift boat stuff, which I know a lot of people are in drift boats, but if you're in the same spot and you're dead drifting it and it's not working, try dead drift and then twitching it. You pick your rod up and you just kind of twitch it and be given the rubber legs, and given the next fly is even going to be better, and they're just going to skitter upstream, cast down, mend it, strip upstream, twitter that bug along the grassy banks. Tim has a great story which he'll probably tell you about on the next fly, to which he had a fish try to do push-ups and eat his client's fly out of the grass. So they do move to active flies. But then you're kind of saying, like, do we just dead drift it? Do we twitch it? How do we activate? You know what I mean? Drop rig, hopper dropper. Use the PMX as a dry fly and a hopper dropper setup. Absolutely, unbelievably perfect. It's what we talked about earlier. If you want to put like an emerger fly under this, it is a smaller type hopper, which will land a little easier on a pot of fish. And there you go. Bob's your uncle. If Bob is your uncle. Baldy Bob. All right, guys, every time I do this, I feel like I'm absolutely gassed. Lots of stuff I've already talked about. I don't need to repeat because we need to tie some flies. So. Anyways, here we go. Tim and the tying cam and the PMX.
Alrighty, folks. I'm back. Okay, let's talk Madam X. Some good questions popped up there talking... Scotty was asking about the red floss. This is the traditional color to tie it in, but you're not wrong in thinking yellow or orange, something for that golden stone if we were tying this in a bigger size. You see a lot of these smaller patterns, like we're tying this on a 14, so this is not a big version of this fly. This is definitely on the small side. But that red is just like an attractor thing. Red, you see it on lots of stuff. Put them on a chubby, put them on ants, that kind of thing. Red just is something that's there. So, yeah, it is the original, but you definitely can vary your colors. That's the cool thing about both patterns tonight. We're tying them in kind of specific colors, but you can definitely vary the colors and the schemes and how you do this. So without further ado, let's jump into this fly. It is a bit complicated. It's small, and there's not a lot of space to do the work on. But we'll take you through it step by step, and we'll get this done.
SOS. Don't
forget about your SOS. If you need me to stop for any reason or anything like that, you just say SOS in the comments. We'll stop. We'll get, you see the lights flashing, and we'll answer the question you have or let you catch up. We do hope that some of you guys are tying along with this, and don't forget, if you're not tying tonight, you have your kit, just head on over to the quick ties and you'll be able to get those up. Probably tomorrow they'll be up. You can tie them there. So like I said earlier, I'm tying this with some UTC 70 in black. Okay, I'm gonna use some black thread. It's a good color combination because there's a little few tricks. We kind of cheat the system in the post, because the post on this fly, there's a lot going on. It's not like tying a parachute Adams or something. There's legs and there's other things. And we cheat the system with a darker colored thread. So something in dark black or in olive is gonna be a great option. So big thing about this, I'm gonna start my thread about a third of the way back down the fly. We need to leave room at the head. And I cannot emphasize this enough on this fly. We get very congested at the front of the fly. And I'm gonna teach you some tricks to hopefully help you hold material out of the way and things like that. But there's just a lot going on at the head, and we need to leave some space. So I'm gonna start my thread kind of right there. I'm gonna bring it back to about the tie-in point here, and I'm gonna start by getting my tail tied in right away. And you're gonna have a patch of deer hair in your kit like this, okay? I've tied probably 12.5 flies out of this already, and I'm about halfway through the patch. So you got lots of deer hair in there to get this done. This is just some bleached deer hair, really, really good. So for the tail, I can't really exactly tell you a number or a size because it's not very much at all, but it's probably gonna be around that like 8 to 12 hairs is gonna be what creates the tail. It's not a lot. So I pulled out about this much, but I'm gonna thin that down. You always wanna come up to the tips and pull out all that under fur, fluff, and shorter hairs. So I've done that. Now what I wanna do is grab my hair stacker. Really important piece of this is your hair stacker. We're gonna come in here, we're gonna stick the tips down into the hair stacker so we can stack those tips as the name says.
It's not a deer
It's not
stacker.
a deer
Quick
stacker.
question, Tom. Maybe you answered it. Are there parachute color variants?
Parachute color variants. Oh yeah, absolutely. The parachute on this is not, it's not for the fish, it's for you. So it helps the fly float. But if you see orange better, pink better, blue better, whatever it is, definitely change your post color. That is not affecting the fly at all. That's a great question. I'm gonna tap that a few times on the table to stack those tips. And then when I come here, I wanna put the base of the stacker pointed back down the fly. So when I pull that out, my tips are aligned and stacked and already pointed the direction I need them to be. I'm gonna pinch them like that to get them out of the stacker. And I'm pretty much right away gonna switch hands, checking those tips. I actually do not like how those ones lined up. I'm gonna restack them one more time. You do want those tips fairly stacked because as we flare this at the back, it's definitely gonna affect it. That's much better this time. Come grab them. And then when you're handling this stuff, you just gotta switch hands every so often in what we're doing to measure and all that. And you just have to be sure that you're not allowing any of those hairs to really change in their alignment. So when I measure this, I'm not really giving a measurement off the eye, but I'm just gonna brace it here. And I want that to extend about a hook gap in width out the back of the fly. So somewhere in about that region is what I'm looking for. I'm gonna switch hands here because I'm gonna trim this off before I tie it in. So then I have a good gauge here for where my thread is sitting. And I'm gonna come in here and just cut the hair right at that spot. Make sure it's cut off nice and even. And then from there, you can see those tips sticking out. I'm just gonna tie that in right away right here, get a gathering wrap back over, and I'm just getting the tips first. I'm gonna go pretty tight on these ones. I'm gonna drive some thread wraps through those tips to really lock them in before I start doing some open spiral back. Now I don't care if the hair goes around the hook shank because this is the tail and it can stick out the other edge, but I am gonna encourage it to stay up top by holding it with my my opposite hand because I kind of want that to stay that way as I move back down the fly, but it's not super crucial. Now I'm gonna take this all the way back to the bend of the hook, and I'm not taking super tight thread wraps right now. They're pretty loose. I don't wanna go over the bend of the hook, but you can see when I let go here, I do want a flared tail, but if I pull really tight, it's gonna flare even more. So I'm gonna back off that tension and allow it to not be so extremely flared. And once I get my thread wraps all the way back to the bend, I'm gonna just come back forward and I'm gonna lock down all that extra hair that's on the hook shank. And that's about the flare we want, okay? Now I'm gonna take some thread wraps, cover up that stuff, and I'm gonna come kind of the midway point of my thread wraps. Again, terrible colored shirt for this. That's okay. We're gonna go to our next material, and that's gonna be that red floss. So we're gonna tie that in. This is the underbody of the rear portion of the fly. I'm gonna come in here and just tie in this floss on the near side of the hook and just take that thread wraps back, locking it in place. And I wanna go all the way back to the edge of the hook bend where I left that and then come back forward. And I'm gonna leave my thread right about here. That's about all I'm gonna do for the red portion of this fly. Again, trying not to crowd that too much. I'm just gonna start to palmer it forward, covering up my work the best that I can. I don't wanna see any of that black thread come through, so if you need to kind of look around the fly, do that to make sure you got good coverage. I'm cheating because I got a camera in front of me so I can look on the screen and see, but just kind of turn it every so often, make sure that those wraps are covering up all the work. And once I get to my thread wrap behind, thread wrap in front, repeat, and lock it down. Then I can come in here and trim out the tag end of that. Set that aside for your next fly. It's a good time to look at it. If you've got any stray hairs or anything in the way, just go ahead and get them out of the way right now. It's kind of the best time for it. We're gonna go back to our patch of deer hair, because we're gonna now make the wing of the fly. And I would say you're not gonna grab twice as much as you had for the back. You're probably about a third more than you had in the back end of the fly. Again, it's a rough estimate. It's more about the more you tie these, the more you're gonna kind of see how much you want, you don't want. But if we get too much deer hair here, it's gonna wanna fold around the sides of the fly, and on the smaller hook, we don't really want that. We want that hair, for the most part, to stay on the top or just edging down onto the edges. So I've got a chunk here. I already know this is too much, but I'm gonna pull out all those short hairs. That's gonna thin it out quite a bit. I'm gonna look at the tips. Yeah, I like that. It's about the wing that I want. Make sure I got all the fuzz out of it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the stacker again. It's really key to get the fluff out, because the fluff actually kind of holds the hair together, and if you don't get that fluff out, the hair won't stack very well for you. So once I got it in my stacker, I'm gonna wrap it on the table, get those tips aligned. I'm gonna pull them out just the same way I did before. Those tips are nice and aligned. Grab them out. I'm gonna switch hands again, kind of trying to get all those hairs to kind of rope up into a ball for me. And now I'm gonna measure a wing that's just a little bit shorter than the tail, roughly. Somewhere kind of in that neighborhood. Kind of like on a stimmy, it'd look very similar. And then I'm gonna switch hands again and make my, I've made my measurement, so now I can switch hands and make my cut. I'm coming here and do the same thing I did with the tail. I'm gonna cut those off. Just leaving the tips exposed. And I'm gonna be pinching with my fingers to make sure that they can't go too far around the edges. And then I'm gonna come up in here and I'm gonna cinch down on those butts. Drive some thread wraps in. You gotta make sure you get right up on top of them, because that thread, if it's slipping on the deer hair, kind of like mine is right now, you gotta make sure you get up high enough on the butts that it locks them in, and you're not gonna lose that measurement or anything else. And once you got them locked in and let go, you can see it's gonna flare really nice. We like that flare, that's what we want from the wing. And we don't want it to go too far down the edges on either side, and that's about perfect, okay? That's good. Now I'm just gonna kind of finish out that little, it's almost like the head of a fly. It's like a little dam. And I'm gonna do that right there. And I'm gonna leave my thread right at that point. Prop up that wing a little bit. And now I'm gonna go to my next material, which is gonna be my legs. And we're gonna tie in these legs right away. And then we're gonna show you a technique to kind of pull them back out of the way when we're trying to tie in the post, because the post is the most difficult portion of this to kind of get everything lined up. And we wanna have everything aligned the best we can. So I'm gonna come in here with, I'm gonna grab 2 legs, just separate them from each other. We're gonna take one at a time to tie them in. I just peeled them apart from each other. I'm just gonna wrap them around my thread. It's a little bit easier way to tie them in. Just make sure they're kind of even on each side. We're gonna have lots of length for this. We kind of pre-cut these already for you. And I'm just gonna pull this down with my thread till it meets the fly, kind of right up against there. And I'm gonna take a couple of thread wraps to secure it. Now at any point, if you're working up against the hair or anything like that, you can change everything in that wing. So you wanna be careful not to do that. So you're just trying to be as cautious as you can when you're up against the hair like that. Now I'm gonna come in here with my other set of legs and I'm gonna tie them on the far side of the fly facing you guys. Same thing, I'm gonna come in here, pinch them down. Once they separate, put a couple of thread wraps. And at this point, I can work with them. I can move them around if I need to a little bit. Don't worry about them orienting perfectly right now, because later when we add the peacock herl, it's gonna separate them and we can kind of put them where we want them. But right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull them back out of the way. I'm gonna take a couple of thread wraps in front, and I'm gonna advance my thread. And now what I'm gonna do is a little trick I like. You can use a hair clip or a gator clamp. You could use something like a gator clamp like this, might work as well. But I find on these smaller flies, to hold stuff back, I just grab a piece of lead wire. I just had a spare piece of lead wire sitting on my desk. You probably got a chunk of it somewhere. And I'm just gonna pull all this stuff back. I'm gonna put a little bend in this to start with. And I'm just gonna use this to hold my material back and out of the way. So I'm just taking a few wraps with it to lock that material back. And you're probably thinking, oh, I'm crushing my wing, but don't worry, we'll prop it right back up with just a little bit of encouragement. Not gonna be too hard to do. Just like that, I'm gonna hold that back out of the way. Now I can put in my post and I can have all that kind of work I've already done just not in the way from what I'm about to do. And the post is kind of, like I said, the hardest part. And we're going to reorient the post a couple times in the vise to tie it in. So go ahead and grab your pair post. That's your next material. It's going to be our wing, or our post, sorry. Now this is too much. I don't want that full strand. So I'm going to pull off roughly 1/3 to half of it. I like to just ball it up in my fingers and I can tell, no, it's still going to be a little thick for this fly. You don't want a super, super broad wing because it just makes a huge lump at the front of the fly when you're tying this in. Kind of roll it up. Yeah, that's going to be better. So now for my tie-in, I'm going to come in here and I want to trim this off flat so it looks like that. Okay. Now I'm going to tie this in up here and I'm going to keep it kind of forward like that, out over the eye until I get my first strand in. I'm going to rope up my thread, let it grab. And I'm just going to pull back on it a little bit. So a little bit of it comes back like that. And then I'm just going to start securing it down. Some thread wraps. And right away, important is I want to lift up on that post and put some thread wraps down behind it. Drive some thread wraps down. We're kind of just bracing it for the next portion where we're going to start doing some more thread wraps up the post. I do like to try to get some thread wraps up the post right away, but this is the time when to make sure that that's sitting right up on top of the hook shank. You don't want it down one side or the other. And now from here, I'm just kind of holding up with my fingers on the post, and I'm just going to start off by getting a few wraps nice and low. It's kind of like creating a thread dam at the bottom of the post, and then I'm going to reorient this in the vise and make quick work of the rest of it. But posts, like I said, can be kind of annoying because they want to move on you a bit and that kind of thing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and lean my hook down in the vise, and it's going to make it a little easier for doing this post. So I've got that locked back in the vise with my the eye of the hook pointed down, and now I'm just going to start wrapping up the post. Avoid all those materials and the legs and everything, and it's important to get a good base on this before you start going up, because if I try to go up right away, you see like that, the wraps want to come off of the post itself. So I need to try to create a good base before I start going up the post. And I'm not doing super tight wraps. I'm just trying to lay a bunch of thread down to create this nice kind of firm base to the post before I start going up. And this is no different on any post fly we tie. We want to create a nice base on it first. And then when I'm taking this up, I want to take it roughly a hook eye. So if I looked at the hook eye width, I'm going to go up the post about 1.5 to 2 of those. But not too much higher, because otherwise we're going to have a ton of hackle way up the post.
I got a quick question here.
Yeah.
I'll just throw the comment up on the screen if you want to read it.
Yep. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Gotta read it.
This backer of music and fly tying world. It's not bad. It's not bad.
All right. That's all I got.
Humility, it's fine. That's a great question there, Dana. Okay, so I've worked it up. I've kind of got that height that I want out of it. I think I'm going to be pretty good with it there. You can still see it's flimsy. It's going to be flimsy because it's still just a material up in the air there. But then you want to work your thread all the way back down to the bottom. And then from there, I'm going to grab the fly, reorient it in the vise. So it's back roughly flat. And now we're going to come in here and tie. So you can see it there. It's about that high. Okay. And we're going to come in here and we're going to tie in our hackle feathers. So you got this, your grizzly colored hackle. Again, color's not super important on the hackle because it's not really there to represent anything to the fish, except it's there to help us float. Now, as always, we've talked about, you have an underside and a top side. So you got a shiny side. You can see how it's kind of curved. My top side is up here. My bottom side's down below. I want to tie this in so the shiny side of the top side is facing yourself and facing up the post. And you can see I just stripped a few feathers off the bottom of it, a few of those fibers off the feather and the stem, exposing it. And that's how we're going to tie it in, because we don't want to have any fibers getting tied in up the post. We want to start wrapping them at the top of the post. So when I lay this here and I tie it in, I want those fibers to start basically right at the top of that post. So I'm going to tie it in on the near side of the fly, secure the stem on the actual hook shank first, pull it up just a bit so it's at the top. There we go. Once I've got that locked down, I'll put a thread wrap behind it. And this is when you kind of got to get very good with your hands, as things want to move around a bunch. And now I got to take thread wraps back up the post because I need that hackle to be secured to the post. I'm not going to reorient the vise for this because I'm just going to start taking some thread wraps up. So I don't have to lay as many. I just need to make sure that I get thread wraps all the way to where I left my thread at the top to secure that hackle, and then I'm gonna come back down. And I'm gonna leave it back like that, okay? So hopefully you're at this point, you've got your hackle in, tied up against your post. I'm gonna come in here and trim out that little stem that was left from the feather. Most of the rest of that's gonna get covered up. And now I'm gonna kind of release my fly from that wire that I had on here. And we're gonna get to work on that kind of the last material it's gonna go in, which is gonna be that peacock curl. And then from there, we're gonna finish the hackle as well. And as you see, I crushed the fly, but it comes out and I don't even have to do much to it. It already looks right back to kind of where it was. So now I want you to go ahead to the next material, which is gonna be that peacock curl. And I want you to grab 3 strands, roughly 3, 2, 3, 4, somewhere in there. Get the tips somewhat aligned. And we're gonna come in here and trim off those, the tips that we know are quite brittle. Just gonna give myself an inch or 2 from the top so that now I'm gonna have a little bit more security in it. And I'm gonna take my thread and put it right back between those legs. And right where I tied those legs in is kind of where I'm gonna tie in this, this peacock curl. Again, don't worry about those legs moving right now. We're gonna secure them down with this. I'm gonna tie this in on the near side of the fly. Really make sure you get this locked in before we start wrapping it, because it's gonna be a problem for you if you don't. You can always kind of reorient those legs if they're hanging down, but make sure that you got this peacock curl good and locked in. I'm gonna even lift it up and drive a wrap behind it. And then from there, I wanna take and lift everything up and slide my thread ahead to the eye of the hook. And you know I love my save button, which is just my half hitch, so I just take my little half hitch tool, or you could do it with your hands if you want. I'm just gonna do one single wrap. I just find on these smaller flies, it's really easy to use a tool like this. You can also just take, like in a pen, you can take the ink portion out of it and just use that. It's just a hole you can put over the end of the fly. I'm just gonna get rid of the little stems from that peacock curl. And now I'm gonna start wrapping it. And my first wrap, I want my first wrap to be behind the legs. So I'm gonna pull back on that first leg, get a wrap of this behind, because I want this to come right back up and touch against that red floss we have underneath. And this is where you're gonna probably have the first little struggle with that hair or the wing, because you don't wanna trap any of it. So do your best to get a full wrap behind. And then I'm just gonna start kind of doing some like figure eights around through the legs. Make sure I get good coverage there. I need to go around the post, up over here. Then I'm gonna come in front of my front legs and put a wrap figure eighted there. We're just creating a nice bulky thorax here. So again, I'm gonna come now in front of those ones, go back behind the post. I'm really just trying to wrap around as much as I can. And by doing that, I can get those legs oriented where I want them to, because I'm using that peacock curl to kind of hold them in place. And then lastly, I need to lift forward on both legs to prop them up. And I'm gonna do a full wrap, maybe even 2 if I can sneak it in there, right in front of the front legs. And now I just need to secure that off. So thread wrap behind, thread wrap in front, repeat that one more time. We really don't want this coming out. Just like that. Before I do anything else, I'm gonna come in here again, save button, get my my half hitch on here, save that work. We do one more, there we go.
Once you get it saved here, it's people are struggling to see it with the black.
Yeah. So I can take and put my other shirt on if you want. Yeah. Just let me where did I do with my other shirt?
I think they can see that.
Best back. There it is. I'm so full of it tonight. Can't even handle it.
Oh, it's good stuff.
Good stuff.
Anyways,
He's got me going. I need a sip.
I just wanted to make sure everyone could see it.
I think they got it. All right.
Oh.
We're getting close, guys. A little bit of hard work and we're done. So I'm going to come in here and trim out the tag ends of that peacock curl and get that out of the way. Need to get a little tighter on those ones. If you've done everything right, you've got a couple save buttons on there. You know that stuff's not going to come out. Now what's important here is I'm going to take my thread now. And this is why I like this color, because I can wrap over that peacock curl with it and you're not even going to notice it.
Just hold tight, hold tight. Actual question, Mikey wants to know if tips to keep the hurl from separating while wrapping it.
Yeah, and it depends on the quality of the hurl sometimes. You know, sometimes it's brittle a long ways down. And what you can actually do is take, so I'll show you these 3 that I still have here. So let's say I just tied in, and you're right, sometimes they want to separate like that. I'll just come in here and I'll twist them. I literally take the 3 together and I just twist with my fingers until they rope up. And once they rope up like this, they're not going to separate because they're locked tight. So just a simple thing you can do. It doesn't affect the look of the fly at all. You can just wrap them till they're nice and wrapped up. And if they're wrapped really tight, the likelihood of them coming out is pretty slim. They're going to stay right together. But great question, because I know sometimes it happens where the hurl wants to separate and you're like, man, I'm wrapping 3, but it's not really going together well.
Do you ever spin it on your thread?
You can spin it on your thread too, for sure. I think it's a little bit more work than it's worth, but if that's what works for you, then go for it. It definitely doesn't hurt. Yeah.
All right, let's wrap that hackle.
Okay, so what I've done is I've brought my thread forward. Now it's sitting on the front side of the post, because when I'm finished, I need to lock off the hackle itself right on the post. But one little trick that I like is before I start wrapping, I'm gonna come in here and grab my Solar Bone Dry. This is a UV resin, very thin. You could do this with super glue too, it's fine. I just like this because I get to choose when I cure it. But I'm just gonna come here on the post on the near side and just put a small drop right on the post itself. I'm gonna let it soak in. I'm not gonna dry it right away. I'm just gonna let that sit in there and soak. Now when I wrap my hackle back down that and then I cure it, it's another piece to lock that all in, and that glue is gonna bind that hackle down, which is something I kind of like. Now, how we oriented this, we told you the underside is facing the post, the shiny side's out. So now that I have that there, I need to make sure I keep that orientation the best I can as I start to wrap. And all I'm gonna do is hold the stem with my fingers. It's kind of an awkward thing, but you do your best to do it, and you start wrapping down. And you gotta try to work around that deer hair, because it again is gonna wanna try to grab it. And we should be able to get 3 to 4 turns down the post.
Claude wants you to get your bib back.
My bib? Yeah.
I don't know where it is. I'm
I
gonna
don't know
go
where
look.
it went. Go find it. And this is kind of the hard part, because you kind of got to just work around that deer hair, because the deer hair, you can see some of it wants to get grabbed in there. But I'm slowly just wrapping this down, and I want to make sure that I take those wraps all the way down to the very base. So I'm working around those, the wing feathers the best I can. And once I get it right down to the bottom and I feel like I've got good coverage, then I'm gonna take that thread and I've gotta lock off that hackle. So I need to do a thread wrap as low as I can without trapping anything to secure the hackle on top. And then I'm gonna lift up on the hackle and I'm gonna take a thread wrap below. Again, trying to keep it as low as possible so I'm not trapping too many of those fibers. Okay, and I'm gonna finish with this on the far side of the fly towards you. Now remember, I've got that resin on there right now, so I'm gonna come in here with my light and cure that. And now that stem's already gonna start to bind. Boy squeak. So I take pressure off that hackle, like here, I'm just letting it hang, and you can already tell that hackle's not wanting to unwind, and that's because I got that glue on there. It really helps assist with that. I'm gonna let that cure really well, and then turn it off. And now what I'm gonna do is another little cheat. I'm just gonna take that thread from that far side, I'm gonna pull back on those legs, and in just one swoop through that peacock curl, I'm gonna get my thread back to the eye. Again, try not to trap anything down. And now that it's there, I can whip finish, I can half hitch, whatever you want to finish off your knot. I'm gonna do a little half hitch here. So I'm doing 2 wraps on my half hitch tool to make that double knot. Slide it off the eye, do 1 more. And that is a great knot that is not gonna come out on you. And now I can come in here and trim up my thread. Get it out of the way, out of the equation. Now I do have to come in here and trim out my tag end from my hackle. So I'm gonna come in nice and low. Try not to take out any other extra material when I do that. And then I'm gonna trim my post. Now, height of the post is really up to you. It is the thing that's the sighter for you. It's what helps you see the fly. On a bigger version of this pattern, it's not the end of the world. But I am gonna leave a little chunk of it up here. Probably, again, a hook gap in width roughly, maybe a little bit more. If you cut it a little long at first, then you can always shorten it up. And then all I'm gonna come in here and do is push it with my finger and kind of spread it out. And that just makes that post look even bigger, so you can see it really well. Okay. Now the last thing I got to do here is I got to trim my legs. I do see I have some deer hair that kind of got moved, so I'm just going to pull that back out of the hackle. And now all I'm going to do is trim my legs so that they reach to the back of the tail. Right there. On this side. On this side. And I'm just pulling them rearward. I'm not stretching them. And then I want to cut the front ones just a touch shorter than the rear ones. And when you finish, it should look something like that. I'll give you against his wonderful comment paper.
Wonderful.
But there you go. That is the Madam X.
Oh, the parachute Madam
Parachute
X.
Madam X.
The PMX.
And I will say 100% of the time on this fly, the more you tie it, the better you're going to get at it. If you just pull one of them and you got frustrated in this tie, trust me, go back and tie some more and you're going to definitely find that it gets easier.
You finally hitting puberty tonight?
You missed one. I squeaked real bad.
I
when you were
didn't
gone.
miss it.
Oh, you can have your ears in.
I was
yeah.
looking for your bib.
But yeah, guys, don't get over frustrated with that fly because it is a great pattern. Again, change the colors as you please, but just get used to tying the post. This is not the last time you're going to see a post out of us. So you want to get kind of good at them. And hopefully your fly turned out something like that. Great attractor pattern. Definitely worth tying up.
Since I was pumping my own tires with the music,
Yeah.
I will say that a lot of the people you watch on Instagram, they post like a tide fly. There's an art to being that good, tying it live.
Yeah, it's...
So maybe
Thank you.
somebody wants to comment and I can screenshot it for you.
Oh, I would... I have a little more humility.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
Anyways, a round of clicks. That is impressive. And once again, I think we're 98 episodes without a blown up fly. And every time you're so panicked.
This is the thing he's explaining, right? Is you know what you can do when you have time. It's not like you don't prepare. We prepare like crazy, but in the moment it can all fall apart.
But
so
it's just
one of those
like we
things.
say, imperfectly perfect, because that's just what fly tying is you're getting to see on social media like the top 1% of their flies that they tie, and it's a process, it's a journey. If you switch over your microphone,
ooh, there we go.
Go soft and supple, the PMX.
But what it is a great reminder for you guys as tires. And like I saw Andy here, he's like, give it a solid 3 out of 10. But what Paul said is right. If you tie every one in your kit, I promise you your last one's going to look better than your first one.
Yeah.
And nobody in fly tying, and I mean nobody, I don't care, the top tires in the world, if they pick up a pattern for the first time, it's not going to be perfect.
100%.
So you just got to work at it and keep going.
Even tie like a San Juan worm. Just don't touch the tying table for like 6 months. Tie one and then tie 6. Your 6th one will be better than your first one, and that's such an
100%.
easy pattern. And when you get into more like intricate ways of working with your fingers and understand, it's like tying knots. Okay.
Yeah.
A conversation that we have quite often with clients on the boat is that's why you guys are involved in the show.
Yeah.
Is understanding that when you're trying to show somebody a knot, like, so take what we do for a living is basically tie knots, because all day. Oh man, what's a rough estimate of knots tied in a day?
If it's not 100, I would be surprised, to be honest. Like,
I think it's that many.
I think it is. Well, it depends on the angler, but
3, 6 to start, 6, 12.
every knot on your leader, every knot on your flies.
I'd say like 30. I'd say 30 to 50.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
I
it's
don't know.
100.
Regardless, it's a lot.
Anyways, probably tying close to 12,000 knots in a season.
Yeah.
And there's a few knots that I do go with more often than not.
Dad joke 101.
Where's my I need a
Yeah, you do. Drum roll.
I have it. I have
If it's in the moment, it feels better.
Oh, okay. So I have a few knots that I prefer. How did I say it? I'm so bad.
It's good.
Anyways,
So bad it's good.
My whole point is the dexterity in your fingers when you're tying the knots. I rarely use clinch knots. And so when I go back to a clinch knot, it's like, oh, How did that go again? So it's just like fly tying. It's just practicing this dexterity with your fingers, and tying the flies. Even if you don't have the right material or enough of the material, just to supplement, like just that practice tying. And that's how she works. That's how she works.
If you fish with tree roy, tie the knots
They're
all day.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ken knows that.
And yes,
much.
Trevor, I do what you said.
Well, so you got to look at it like this: the guy that takes 100 shots on the outdoor rink
was
isn't
waiting for
better.
it.
Well,
Is he better?
It could be true. I honestly, when I go with Tim, I make him tie them. I don't make him; he just does it, and I find it.
Yeah, but you can't get out of guide mode just because your
That's a good
friends
point.
are fishing with you.
Yeah, it's like, let me tie that. And the person sitting, they're kind of in the mode of tying. Oh, I wish I could teach you guys all the knots that I love and know, but
It's only 3 of them.
it's one.
It's a great comment there about the post trip though, or tip. It is use it, and I've never seen anybody do it, but I just knew when I first started tying posts how frustrated I was with it, because I would like try to finish it off on the post, and some people whip finish on the post, which is good too, but then you just like it blows up. But if you have that little security on there with that resin, it's a game changer. Oh, let's see what it is.
Oh, Black Steak Bakery.
Mom, are you
Maggie
still
Murphy.
awake?
Guys, don't forget to scan that QR code and make sure you get your Valentine's orders in,
Yes.
because the market, which is the Valentine's Day market, is February 14th because it's Valentine's Day.
Is it?
Takes place 3:30, 5:30. When you get your pre-orders in, you can pick up your food there or work out a deal, and I'm going to help you out. Somehow I'll help you out, get them to my house. You can come here, whatever. Because that time frame is a little bit tight, but we want the people from the area to get your hands on a tiramisu brownie, a sour cherry hand pie, which Tim, talk about how those changed your life.
I honestly, Meg, I haven't had something like that in my life. The apple ones you made us, like I still can't get over
I
it.
just can't think of sour cherry because I think of when we go camping and we make those.
All those cherry pies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the
I know.
Oh, man.
I know. Strawberry rhubarb tart with citrus shortbread crumble. Gluten-free version of the tart will also be available. A banana toffee scone. A roasted red pepper in the savory department. A roasted red pepper, oregano, and cheddar scone. A chocolate hazelnut, aka Nutella, Danish. And heart-shaped sugar cookies. So head over, QR code, scan it. Even if you're not from here, order them and say, these are for Dana and Tim.
I like that idea.
Why not? Why not?
That's perfect.
Shows some appreciation for our Red Seal pastry chef, Maggie Murphy.
Look at this. Oh, pecans. Oh man, what is this?
I don't know. Well, I do know because it's right there in front of me.
Witchcraft is what it is. Maybe the wizard's been teaching her some stuff.
So I heard something from the wizard tonight.
Did you?
Yep.
What do you say?
Oh, well, he's got the flu.
Oh, so somebody's gonna get off easy, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know how that works out. I
Get
just
your
got an
FLYINGO
email
cards.
from him. Yeah, anyways, that's just what it is. So.
It's just what it is.
Oh,
Oh,
damn her.
man.
Dem
What
her
is
out.
that? Tell
Dem
me.
her out.
What is that?
Dem are out. They're right there.
Oh, I know, but what are they called?
Well, we're not going to reveal the secret until we're ready to reveal the secret.
What if we're ready?
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know.
You guys got your FLYINGO cards?
You better. I've got
Oh my
mine.
goodness. I just want to crack this beer.
Well, let's do it before we do FLYINGO.
Okay. Guys,
Deal.
we got way
It's
too much.
Beer Friday! Join Dana and Tim as they sip, savor, and sometimes suffer through craft beer adventures.
Uh-oh.
All right. So this one here, folks, is not the high cutie.
What is it?
Get your bingo cards. Come on, we're going to play bingo right away. We're going to roll through this super quick. The high cutie, I was going to hit about this.
Yeah, me too.
All right,
That's
we
where I
got
was.
double threes for the high cutie. It got a little better.
Yeah, it did get better.
But yeah, solid day nymphing, decent, good. That's how she goes. And all right, so now we're on to the big bad boy, infinite mass.
Uh-oh.
You do your reading.
I don't like it where there's an IBU with a question mark. All right, we're going to read this
You
one
left
out.
a little in here, so we'd weeding this down.
Yeah, I'm trying. Okay, Infinite Mass. Use a 2-row base and blended yeast with a mosaic incognito whirlpool before the dry hop of mosaic. Citra, what is that? Simcoe? I can't even read it. Citra Lupamax and Mosaic Lupamax. This is a long description. It's got some mango
The
in it,
aromas
and
of
fruit,
orange,
sorbet
drippy
lead.
mango. They're from Middletown, New York, because I thought, hey, we got some friends out there, so we're trying to find some stuff that you guys have. Oh, there's a bit
Mango
ahead
syrup, pops of lime Skittles,
there. Dark resinous.
hoppy dark resinous. Finish.
Hashtag EQ juice.
This is interesting.
Melody. Dude, there's a lot going on. Infinite Mass, a
Yeah,
double
like a lot
Indian
of
pale
head.
ale. Hey,
I got more head than I got drink.
that's good.
I thought we had a double IPA tonight. I was worried.
This
Is this
double
what it is?
IPA. Yeah, look at the right there. Infinite Mass on the can.
Oh, this is the one I was scared about.
Double Indian pale ale.
All right, let's do it. Can I share some head with you?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask.
Look
but-
at your beer. It's got nothing on it.
All right, we're gonna have a little sip of this and come back to FLYINGO.
Innovation is in our DNA here at Fishpond, and this year we're raising the bar. From the brand new Storm Shadow line with industry-first weather resistance to new Nomad net models crafted for any application. Built for every mile, the entire line is crafted for the rugged demands of adventure travel to the ease of everyday angling. Head on over to fishpondusa.com to find a dealer near you.
Times and places are all in who you share them with, and it's life. And the point is enjoying who you share it with. Joy is who you share it with. And the weeks and the weekends are keeping close who you spend them with.
Boppy deep deep boppy deedly doo. We got X
FLYINGO.
wins tonight,
Oh, man.
folks.
X wins.
wins. X marks the spot. Do you know what an X is? That even possible?
I'm going to pull up my card and find out.
Pull out your FLYINGO card and let us know if you haven't downloaded yours. You gotta head over to the website and download your FLYINGO card. Because tonight, X marks the spot. You know what I mean?
Where is?
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I think I screwed up.
Did you? What'd you do?
As long as Ken doesn't win again. guys, the reviews on this double IPA isn't too bad. And like Claude said, they went all the way down to Vermont and they found this heady topper from Alchemist Brewing in Vermont. So we got some people from out that way. Maybe they can head over, try it, and find a way to smuggle it northwest for us. Now that the border is as tight as
Yes.
How
do I find this in my
Ken's
email?
wallet.
FLYINGO?
I don't answer those questions. All right, we got 6. I don't know how many we need to make this happen, but I'm gonna hang on. Too much going on, Doug. Just tell us a bad joke.
Oh. I don't know why I can't find this.
All right. So the calls are the green bottle spider, the film critic, the cinnamon toast ant, the gasolina perdigon, the egg sucking leech, which let me down today in the emoji races, and the poacher.
Wasn't a good day for you.
Was not.
0 for 4.
I haven't won yet. That's why I don't even play this. What are you gonna do if you win, Tim?
I don't know.
Well, I know.
What?
I know what I'll do. Because I control everything. All right, folks. Fishpond FLYINGO.
Ah, there it is.
Our friends at Fishpond, they're the ones that make this happen. And you guys, you're free. It's all free. We got about $700 in prizes in there, which we've talked about.
There's a lot in there.
We got fly boxes full of flies. We got sun shirts from Wolf Creek Anglers, Fly Fishing Boat Outfitters. How many do we need to make an X?
So you need 8.
Okay, so we're just sitting here forever, waiting for everybody. And so remember, when you do get a bingo, you say bingo, and then you say call number. So there's call numbers beside there, and then you say your bingo card number. So call number and your bingo ID number. So sun shirt from Fly Fishing Boat Outfitters. We got hat from Grundens. We got a awesome hoodie from our friends at Grundens. We got a Fishpond hat and a fly pug. Flies, sun shirt from us, a hat from us.
Yep.
And a Captain Clutch sticker. So you might wonder, what in the hell is a Captain Clutch sticker? Well, you're going to find out. Not from me, but the hard way.
The hard way.
Right. Is this X ever going to come? We got number 9,
doing
Mop
good.
Sculpin. I have a row. Well, that was good last week.
I finally got a corner. It ain't looking good for me so far.
That's all right. We're going to go a little faster because if we go beyond, we just always come back to the call number. So I don't mind this beer. It's there. The hop is there, but
It ain't bad.
no, it ain't bad. I have a column a week late. Roger Beatty has got a column. It would have worked last week.
Would have.
So we've had a multiple winner already.
Haven't.
Tough bingo card. Good lord. We're going to call another one the Mop Hopper. So, just to help you guys out, the green bottle spider, the film critic, the cinnamon toast ant, the gasolina perdigon, the egg sucking leech, the poacher, the meadow hopper, the half pint streamer, the mop sculpin, and Paulie D wants to get the negative inversion of the X.
I'm working on it
Quite
too, Paul.
quite impressive. But the Mr. Peanut Hopper. So anyways, I don't even know if the X is possible, but that's why we're here to prove that all things are possible at the Fishpond FLYINGO. You've seen the ads, the commercials, highly pushed for you to grab your cards and play in on the All right, we got some more people grabbing some cards.
Mr. Peanut Hopper.
Stuff. All right, so number 12, because time we call things and they come on a little late. I need 2 more. Mikey Dumont, he's been a big winner in the past.
Yes.
He has.
Ooh, I got another corner. 2 for 8.
We can sit here all night, folks. That next fly is going to take a little bit of time, but hey, 2-hour shows were so last year.
So last year.
Why do we feel like we got to stick to the time?
I don't know.
That's not true.
Who made a time?
People. Remember in COVID when no one cared?
Yeah, that's true. Stay here till midnight.
Millions of people hung out that just didn't want us to go.
Come back on after the show. Never done that.
Never done that before. All right, the Chai Tea Nymph. The Chai Tea Nymph. Oh, the infamous NAC is bingo.
Oh, man.
But I'm going to need you to follow the rules. Bingo, call number, and ID number.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
What's up?
Need to know. We need to know. Who is infamous NAC? I hate the YouTube for that because I don't know anybody's names.
Don't always remember.
Yeah.
But I don't
Any other bingos?
remember.
Need that call ID? Card ID? ID 39. What call was it on there,
Yep.
bud?
We're gonna do our best. We're gonna do our best to coach you through this. Well, Brendan, a border is worth something to Mr. Donald Trump.
Oh, there's too many Americans in here to make
That's all right.
politics jokes.
That's not a joke. It's a fact.
It's true. That is very true. Very true.
All right. Well, Cam's finally got a line. We got 14 out of what possible 26. So hopefully you got a line. That's why we went with the X tonight. Infamous NAC.
Just a P count?
We're gonna really need you to help out here. ID.
Need the card ID.
number 39. Well, since no one else is calling it, I can just plug it in.
Call 13. On the Kate McLaren. I don't see it,
I
bud.
don't see. Nope. We're not. We're missing out.
You need X corner to corner.
That's still a game, folks. We are still playing live. Looks like we did not get an X. An X would be right through down.
Telling me there's a chance.
All right. All right. We tried our best. We have the ability to double check, unlike the emoji monster races where we can't. We can check.
All right. Another call?
What we should do on this FLYINGO here is eat our
Oh, we should
bacon.
be.
Yeah, we should.
I'll get it.
All right, so I'm going to throw down another call here. The next call is going to be the half pint midge, which is in 2 weeks. Tim's last show before Tim has to head back off to the old land of New Zealand. Yeah. While we're waiting for you guys to get your bingo together, we're just gonna over here eat some Black Stag Bakery. What was the official name? It's on the box there. Again, my hands are a mess. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna do another call. Call 16 is the mole midge.
So we've got the
Caramel, pecan, banana, coffee cake.
caramel pecan banana coffee cake.
Absolutely spoiled. I don't know what we did to deserve this, but we are spoiled. Maybe just pull me a piece out of yours. Bet you guys are jealous. 2 more. Someone's just gonna be late bloomer. 2 more. Man, we do have tiebreakers here, folks, and I have a way to do the tiebreaker that's gonna make some people really happy. 3 more. That's where the flies end up. Is the 3 more. All right, we going down. Call number 17. Come on. I almost got blackout. That's a good point. We're gonna have some tiebreakers. This, Tim, could be a nightmare. I got
You always do this to yourself. Oh man, I'm so excited to try this.
I got a pen and paper ready.
All right,
more.
first bite here.
All right, first bite.
Oh man,
Imagine that with our morning coffee.
you're gonna love this. I love this. Maggie,
Oh my!
this is not working into our diets, and I don't even care.
I'll be doing sit-ups after.
Yeah. Oh man, that is so good.
I'm like, you know that feeling again? Wait.
How's that?
Just let the flavors kick in as it starts to.
10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
10 out of 10.
Oh my goodness! Holy. I know some people might not be into pecans, but I highly suggest you let that pecan get into you. San Juan
Man.
worm. pop out another one here.
Gosh.
Yep, that's how it goes, folks. And well, if you sit on the couch, you get your own dessert. You get your free beer.
Oh.
What you don't get. One more. We got people so close, guys. If you don't love to hear people eat, maybe this show isn't for you. Maybe thumbs it down.
Thumbs might be. Bingo call 16 card 40. Mike
Look at
McKenna.
that. Look at that. A legend.
Legend.
A guy who's been
He's never
around for
won.
a long time.
Oh gosh.
Mike, I really want to get happy for you, but I'm already happy. I got this in my mouth.
Oh man. Nice job, buddy.
Wow.
Oh my word.
Why am I so happy right now?
I'm taking one of these home with me.
You can. This time, you should.
Well done, Maggie. Well done. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We got another bingo.
All right. Got some issues. Mike McKenna called it again.
He had it on call 16.
Okay,
Travis
Travis
got
is
it
on
called
19. Okay. All right. Let's check this out. You watch the comments. Doug
I'm
wasn't
watching.
even close.
Oh man.
Because I'm eating sugar. That's what Janine tells me why I'm so happy.
I mean, I get cutting out sugar, but I just couldn't do it. Not full term.
Well,
Long time. I love it.
I don't think there's any sugar. Maggie told me. She promised me. Hillbilly called it too. What's going on, guys?
Oh, Jesse.
Oh,
Andy
bingo.
has bingo.
Call 19. Okay.
Okay, so
We're
it's
not
2 on
quite
19.
16. Guys, this is Tim. You had one job.
I know. I was busy.
Oh man, I can't even think straight. All right, bingo card. ID number 16. Is that no? He was call 16.
Call 16, ID number 40.
40. Mr. McKenna,
Mr. McKenna.
we are viewing you as a.
Oh, we did it.
X marks the spot. Well,
Well done.
BRB got to make a kitchen run. You're making me hungry. See what we do, the folks get it in you, and this infinite mass.
I know.
It's good.
It's good. It's getting better too.
You think Mike McKenna has bingo?
I don't think so. He hasn't repeated
He hasn't
it.
let
so-
us know. Hey, Mike, if you have bingo, let us know.
He's worried. You got it, buddy. You got it on 16.
I'm coming to the couch next week. I need some of Maggie's. Yeah, well, the couch is here, guys. No one's here. I got you guys a new stool. You can bring your vise. You can tie on one of the NOR vise that we have extras. A bunch of extra vices up here. All right. I'm not kind of sure how I transition into this wonderful scenario, but the wizard's not here today.
Oh, he's not. That's right. Yeah.
No,
Well, that's
he
good news. Maybe.
Just double checking. Do you think Mike McKenna has bingo?
I think he's got it.
Mike, do you have a Captain Clutch sticker?
It's a great question.
Because before we... I think he's eating special muffins.
Yeah, he might be.
All right, Captain Clutch for you, Mr. McKenna.
Does he have one? You don't know?
I don't know. Well, I do know. I can check, but I would prefer him to let me know if he got bingo.
Don't listen to him, Mike. I'm excited for you.
It should be. 5 to fill the card and 3 for the win. Congrats, Mike. I just need to know.
Captain Clutch or not? 6 to fill the card, 3 for the win.
I'm just trying to see if he's got it.
Checky.
All right, he's going to the place that nobody wants to.
Oh, baby.
All right, I gotta get ready for this.
Get it ready.
Tim, don't say a word.
Okay.
Remember, the wizard isn't here.
Okay.
Did you remember that?
I remember.
I am the wizard. I'm not gonna be here.
Okay. Okie dokie, smoke. Okay. Oh no!
I know. It's funny when my dad's not here.
But all the doors are still here.
Yeah, but that's because my dad told me to protect the place. So I have a choice to make.
What's your choice?
The choice is Mike cute?
I think he is.
Alright, Mike. I just want to know. I'm a lot nicer than my dad.
I would hope so.
Are you shy around me, Tim?
What's that?
Are you shy?
Not as shy as you.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I think you're afraid to tell me. Tim. Hello, Tim.
Hello?
Hello, Tim. So my dad wanted me to see if you would choose door number 1, door number 2, door number 3, door number 4. Door number 4 looks kind of cute.
Oh.
Door number 5. Door number 9. Oh, that's over here. That hurt. Door number 6. Door number 7.
Not that one.
Door number 8. Like you did to that wonderful coffee cake, Tim.
It was delicious.
Oh my dad is not nice to you guys, but maybe I'm nice.
Well, how cute is that door number 4?
I don't know.
Pretty cute.
I don't know. I need to know if Mike is cute. Like
I told you. He's a pretty handsome
the
fella.
beer you drank tonight. Is he cute? Like, hi, cutie?
I can't say that about another man.
Mike, choose a door. I'm not gonna stay around forever. Man. Did he even have bingo?
I think so.
Okay, Mike, this is getting ridiculous. It's almost 9 o'clock. And we know what that means. We're gonna have K-pop soon.
Uh-oh. For the next fly.
Mike, I wanna know. Do you want to choose a door? What's this guy's problem? First time, Mike? A little nervous?
I think he might be.
I think Mike might not be with us anymore.
Uh-oh.
Mike! Hello, Mike.
Give us a number.
Why are you so shy, Mike? Mike, I need to know. Did you want door number 5? What's up, Mike? Why does it take so long?
The comments are coming in real slow. Mike, are you on the crapper?
Mike. It sure didn't take this long to let me know you won the bingo.
He was all over that.
Like all 14 times.
I think he is on dial-up, yeah.
See, Joel, he's cute and he's funny. He said, is Mike on dial-up?
He's a pretty handsome fella.
Yep. Do you want to choose door number 4? Or door number 3? YouTube gets really behind if you don't refresh. Yeah, Mike. Apparently we're just gonna pick for you.
Oh, no.
Sadly, we might have to just end the game without Mike's opinion.
Come on. Come on, Mike. Tell us what you want. He said People are gonna vote for you, Mike, and
I don't
just.
think he said door number 4.
I don't think so. He said he did.
Bingo. I checked all the comments. Chad he's on, guys. We're just gonna have to end the game and come back when Mike picks the door.
Apparently the chats are very slow tonight.
I understand, but why isn't everybody's chats?
Everybody's just saying door 4.
Oh, Brendan just chose be nice. Go door number 4. There it is. We got it. We don't
There
really
he
have
is.
to.
He said it.
We don't have to piss around anymore because he chose door number 4.
Let's
And
see.
now we're gonna unveil door number 4. There it is. All right, door number 4.
Come on, Mike.
Here we go. No.
What door was that again? Bingo.
The comments are so far behind. Anyways, well that's the way it goes. And like my dad told you guys before.
He did.
Anyways,
He did.
guys, the truth is, I have to show you which door was the winner because that's my dad's rule. And, nope, that wasn't the winner either.
Oh.
Fishpond flying the winner.
No.
That would be door number 1. And what else do we got here? Oh,
That's
another
mean.
prize in door number 8. Yeah, well, anyways.
I thought you were gonna be nice.
I don't know what I'm gonna be. I'm just simply here, trying to make the best out of everything.
Still thinking Dana's lazy.
So we're just over here now, eh?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Mike chose number 4.
Well, you got to get buggy first, don't you?
Oh my goodness. What happened tonight?
What would you do without me?
Oh, well, hang on, folks. We're going to get buggy.
Oh my gosh.
Don't quit on us.
We're almost there. One more fly.
Yeah, this one's a good one.
It's a gooder.
Dinah, we got a crisis. A river emergency. A full-blown bug apocalypse. I was out on the water, minding my own business when, bam! This low-riding, wild-moving golden bug was just like floating, like it owned the place. Unstoppable. It had moves, Dana. Moves.
Sounds like you just met the Dancing Ricky Golden Stonefly.
Dancing Ricky. Who's Ricky? And is he dangerous?
Well, not dangerous, Sketchy, but actually quite legendary. Named after Rick Matney, who, from what I hear, was a phenomenal dancer after a few drinks. But the real mastermind behind this fly is Andrew Grillos. The guy's a fly tying genius. He created this low-riding, high-floating, super durable stonefly pattern that trout go absolutely crazy for.
So you're telling me this thing floats like a cork and stays fresh no matter what? And you could tie it in all sorts of colors?
That's right. It's built for action, stays right on the surface, and has irresistible, lifelike movement that the trout just can't ignore.
So it's basically like the break dancer of stoneflies.
Well, if breakdancing could catch trout, then yes, you're right, Sketchy.
Well, that settles it then, Dana. I need to tie one. But a most important question, can it moonwalk?
Sketchy, yo, bro, just tie the fly, all right? All right, folks, it is after hours, and you know what that means? That it is straight up, wait up, K-pop time, because that's why I kind of go over time, because I just want K-pop time. So this is the Dancing Ricky Stonefly pattern that we're going to tie tonight, and you heard a lot about it right there. Andrew Grillos, we tried to get him on the show. We never heard back from him because we thought it'd be pretty cool if he'd come on and kind of let you guys know about this fly that he designed after his buddy, who was a little bit of a dancing Ricky after a couple drinks. So the Dancing Ricky Golden Stonefly is a foam-bodied attractor pattern designed to imitate, in this situation, more of a squallow, but a golden stonefly or large terrestrial insects that ride the surface of the water. Like I just said, created by Andrew Grillos, the fly was named after Rick Matney, an angler known for his impressive dance moves after a few drinks. The Dancing Ricky is known for its low-riding, buoyant, and highly durable design, making it an excellent choice for rough waters and fast-moving currents. It can be tied in multiple colors to match different species and or hoppers, which makes this fly really fun. You're going to see there is a ton of foam that's going to be tied in. Not complicated, but just a very buoyant fly. So, anyways, entomology of stoneflies, really cool to understand here, is that the stoneflies is an essential group of aquatic insects found in clean, well-oxygenated streams and rivers. And they are a key indicator in the presence of high water quality. So we have a ton of them in the Bow River. It is one of our best hatches. We do have squallows early April, but most likely they are just hatching more downstream than upstream, maybe just water temperature kind of thing. Remembering in the stonefly life cycle, there's an incomplete metamorphosis. Unlike many aquatic insects, the stoneflies do not have a pupal stage. They undergo incomplete metamorphosis, which consists of 3 life stages, which is really important for you guys to kind of understand how and what it is and how to fish it. So unlike most flies, are probably not fishing a stonefly egg, but kind of how it goes is the females will deposit their eggs in the water, and that's kind of, they'll skitter, right? They got this big egg sac on their butt, and they'll drop their eggs. They'll go down to the bottom and adhere to the rocks. The next stage of this fly is the nymph stage. So 1 to 3 years is kind of the lifestyle that they spend underwater. They live on the riverbed. They like the rocky or gravelly substrates, not the muddy bottoms. They're clumsy swimmers. They're actually not swimmers. All they're trying to do is get out of the river. So they're kind of crawling on the rocks, which stoneflies kind of gives the name. And they grow pretty big, 1 to 3 years, where they molt. They shed their skin just like a snake, and they grow bigger and bigger. You can get them huge, 1 to 3 inches to 4 inches. Salmon flies, I believe, are the largest of the stoneflies, but the nymphs, what do they feed on? Algae and other aquatic insects and stuff like that. So a highly nutrient-rich river, like we talked about, will be an abundant playground for stoneflies. So now we're talking about the adult stage, which is kind of what we're going to be tying here, is when they crawl onto the rocks or vegetation grass, they'll shed their nymphal skin. And I do have a time-lapse video of this we took one night. It's super cool. And then they'll emerge into what the winged adult. Now, I have a little caveat on that winged adult word, because the males don't have wings and the females do. Well, the males can't fly. They kind of got these fake wings that they have, and they're much smaller. So the adult stoneflies, they don't feed. Okay. Their primary goal is to find a beautiful other, mate, lay eggs, and die. Usually within 1 to 4 weeks, and we will see them under rocks. And yeah, it's usually when they're most vulnerable, and trout are really picking on them. Huge source of protein, so it's really fun to fish this hatch. The mating occurs on the stream side, vegetation, rocks, or the ground, which is kind of the rocks. And then the females, like I said, they can fly because their wings work, and they have a couple sets of wings. And they will fly back to the water, and they will drop their eggs. Sometimes they'll get stuck in the water, and the egg sac gets stuck, and they're trying to leave, and bam, that's an aggressive eat. Okay, when that happens, big meal for a trout. So trout aren't shy to be a little vulnerable in that phase of dry fly eating when they attack them. So we talked about the females are significantly larger than the males, sometimes twice the size. The size difference is because the females carry large egg masses, making them more enticing to trout. So they have more of a job to do, just kind of the real world. The females have the longer wings that extend well past their abdomens, which you're going to see in the fly that we're tying tonight. Males have shorter wings and they're often flightless or weak flyers, but the weak flyers they're not flyers. They're kind of like grasshoppers where they jump and they flutter their wings, but they really have nowhere to go well. They don't do it well. But instead of flying, the males rely on drumming, a form of communication where they tap their abdomens on rocks to attract females. And it's pretty cool when you see the time lapse. There's like a massive orgy going on where there tends to be less females and more males. Not like real life, but it's kind of like a bar scene at 2 a.m. Remember the one we grabbed a whole handful there a couple years ago, and it was just like these little dudes just absolutely going nuts. No pun intended. If you ever see a big stonefly skittering on the water, it's likely a female laying eggs. And if it's small, then it's the male. And he's just literally scurrying for his life, trying to get out of the river. So the golden stonefly hatch, which we get here kind of first couple, second, third week of July. It's a nocturnal stonefly, so they hatch overnight. So the best time to fish them is at first light or at no light. Also fishing this fly is some sort of a terrestrial, which is kind of your late season when the grasshoppers get their wings and they start moving more about, which is when they're more in the water and the fish key in on that. Dead drifted along the bank, seams and riffles, as opposed to hoppers. More likely, these are tighter to banks than mid-river. That can also be because of the volume of water, that fish aren't quite out in the middles as much as they are tight against the bank. When we see them, it's kind of high volume of water right after runoff, and tuck it tight into the grass, and they usually get eaten pretty aggressive. Fishing is a dry dropper, so there is a time to which they eat the nocturnal ones. We have some streams around here where the stoneflies hatch midday, and you can just start fishing them midday. But don't be afraid to use it as a hopper dropper, dry dropper, rig, or putting a stonefly nymph below it, or your favorite other nymph. Stoneflies are not meant to be on the water. Just as in their nymphal stage, they try to struggle to get out, which is why their nymphs are big and they got rubber legs, and it's really fun to fish those. Same way as it is with the dry flies, as they do not swim well. So anyways, I know I'm done because I'm just about out of breath. But the Dancing Ricky Golden Stonefly is a deadly pattern for targeting big trout when stoneflies or hoppers are in play. It combines the natural stonefly behavior, high visibility for us, durability for the sharp teeth of the big brown trout, and it should be a go-to choice for you as well as many other anglers. So now I'll turn this over to Tim, and I know you have a lot of questions popping up in there, and I'm going to answer those probably in the comments. I'll write back to them because it's Tim's time.
All right, guys, let's get at it. You can see it here, the Dancing Ricky Stone. Looks like a busy pattern, but don't forget, if you want that Foam Fanatic sticker, you're going to have to get through this pattern. And this is a fun one. It is a little bit lengthy just because there's so much foam. But what you can see here is because of so much foam, it's going to float well. But like Dana said, it rides low. And that's this lower portion of the fly. That's the underbody that's going to almost sit like in a merger style pattern of fly. A little bit lower in the water. Just a very buggy looking fly. So let's just get at it. Pop this one out with a vise. You're going to notice in your kit that the hooks that we're using for this fly are, they've got a bend in them. And it's for a couple reasons. It is somewhat so that we can show you, so that the fly can ride with that low position on that one, on that lower portion of the fly. But it also It's a great marker for us because most of our materials get tied in at that bend. So I'm gonna slide my new hook in here. I want you to leave a little bit of room to get down into the bend of the hook because we are gonna take our first material quite a ways down in there. Let's go ahead with our thread. I'm using some UTC 140, so I want something a little heavier. I have this in olive as it's kind of a perfect match for the color of the pattern we're doing tonight. I'm gonna start that thread just behind that bend on the hook and just kind of work it back to the bend. And we're gonna get at that first material right away. So again, SOS if you need me to pause. I am gonna try to get through this pattern, not with speed, but it just takes a while. So we're gonna try to get through it as quickly as we can. But if you have questions, do not hesitate to hit that SOS in the comments and let us know. You got a lot of different colors of foam in your kit. You've got some peach color, you got some orange, yellow, and brown. We're gonna start off with this peach colored foam. I want you to come in here and find an end of it, cut it off flat if it's not already. And we're gonna cut a bit of a shape into it just for our tie-in, which is just gonna kind of cut it almost into a point. And that's just gonna aid the tie-in portion of this. Now we're gonna come in back here and we're gonna start by kind of placing that tip of the foam just behind that bend in the hook. We're gonna get our first wrap over top. I'm gonna take another one back rearward over a little bit thicker section. And then once I get back to where it's full foam now, this is where I wanna double check, make sure that it's sitting right up on top of the hook shank. And then I'm gonna take some kind of open spiraled wraps back down the hook. And I'm gonna take open spirals right down into that bend. So you can see I've got kind of my last one is right down in the bend. Make sure that that one's really good and locked in because that's where we're gonna be putting some pressure when we bring it back. And now I just want you to come back up over the pattern, over that foam. Avoid that hook point the best you can. It's kind of a danger point as you might break your thread on it. We really need to lock down this section of the foam really, really well. We basically have one tie-in point on this fly that is very busy. We have a lot of materials going in one spot, so we gotta make sure we leave some space for it, but at the same time, when we're tying in this foam, especially this foam, we need to lock it down. But what this does is it gives us some bulk because we're gonna put dubbing here and bring this back up over top. And what this bulk does is it just means we use less dubbing, which is kind of nice. So I'm gonna take my thread all the way back down into that bend, and we're gonna be making a dubbing noodle. So remember, the dubbing noodle is when we put the dubbing on our thread in that motion with our fingers like this. And yes, I'll say it so he'll play it in one direction, okay?
That's what makes you beautiful.
It's true.
Yes.
He's been waiting for that. So just grab a pinch of it. We do want a slight taper. And like I said, in one direction, I'm just spinning this on here. I'm not going back and forth with my fingers in two different directions. Keep it one way so this material will actually bind to that thread. And we're gonna start creating a dubbing noodle. And we're gonna take it down probably 4 inches. We're gonna have to redub some more because it's just, you need a lot of dubbing to build this body. We're just gonna get to it, get that on there. We'll start wrapping it up and we'll have to add some more here in a moment. But I'm gonna take this right up here, start making my wraps right at the back by that foam, cover up any of that foam work and start working that dubbing forward. Like I said, in a perfect world, we want a little bit of a taper to it. So we want it a little thinner at the back and we want it to grow in size as we go up. But we can control that by just adding an extra wrap in place if we need to. You can see I'm kind of tightening it as I go forward. I just want to make sure that that dubbing is nice and tight and it's not kind of fluffing up. Get to here, you can see, yep, I need to add a little bit more. I want to get all the way up to where I initially tied in that foam. So I'm going to add a little bit more here, getting it built up. If you add a little bit of moisture to your fingers or some wax, it'll also aid in this. It'll help you get a little bit more binding to that thread. I'm going to keep taking it forward, trying to build that taper. So you see I can just take multiple wraps in one spot if I need to. And I'm going to finish with that dubbing right up where that hook bend is, where the bend is in that hook, okay? Now I'm gonna grab this piece of foam, I'm gonna lay it up and over, and I want this, when I secure foam to the top of a hook like this, I'm really wanna manage that it doesn't roll side to side, so I'm gonna hold it down with these fingers. I'm gonna take one wrap, make sure that wrap is perfectly perpendicular to that foam. I'm gonna start to pull some tension, but not full tension because I don't wanna cut through it. I'm gonna take 3 or 4 more wraps, and then I'm gonna pull tight. And this is where it's important to kind of look over from the top of the fly, make sure that foam is right up on top where you want it. And then I'm gonna come in here and trim out this foam. A couple more wraps here. And then I'm even gonna come in here and trim out some of this tag ends of the foam because this is our major tie-in point. We have a lot of stuff getting tied in here. So I wanna take as much of that tip of the foam out as I can. And then I'm just gonna secure it right down to the hook shank with some thread wraps. If you've got any dubbing like I do right here that just kind of went a little wonky on you, just go ahead and trim it out. We just want it to kind of look even on the underside. Now I'm gonna teach you this technique. We've done it before in the past, but we call it a cross wrap technique, where we create segmentations in the fly, but we have just simple wraps on the bottom, but on top it looks busy. But we're just trying not to show too much work below the foam itself. So how I'm gonna do this is, I'll kind of show you here, is I'm gonna come over like this, and I'm gonna go across the material like so. And then once I'm underneath, it's just a straight up wrap over top. Now that's my first segment, okay? And you want the segments to start bigger and get smaller. So next one again, gonna be a similar size, come up and over. There's no perfect number for how many segments are in this, but just keep working it back. The first 3 I try to keep fairly similar in size. And again, cross wrap. And then these ones are gonna start to get a little bit smaller. You gotta work around that hook point the best you can, which is kind of tough when you get down here. Gonna bind it like that. So you can see they're starting to get a little smaller as I go. I'm gonna get this one. Oh, didn't quite cross properly. Come back up here because you don't want to show the work on the bottom. You want it to be on the top. You can see I'm kind of pushing my finger on top of the thread to make that happen. You can see how it comes down like this. And I'm gonna try to sneak in one more little small guy here. Try to split that piece in half. Best I can. Doesn't really want to work for me. Just like that. There we go. That worked out all right. So this is what I'm left with. You can see I got all my segments. Now when I come back up the fly, all I'm gonna do is cross in the opposite direction. So now I'm creating that X. So I'm staying in the same path on that foam. I cross it over again, come back into the slot I already created, cross over again, come back into the slot I created. So it looks like so. It just makes that X as we move up the fly. Cross over, back in the slot, cross over. And that's just so I can work this back forward without making all these lines underneath. So you can see the thread is only creating those little nubbins, which is that segmentation in the body. And now that I'm right here, we're gonna get started on the next part, which is I'm just gonna finish dubbing the hook all the way to the front of the fly. Now I'm gonna dub up and dub back, so I don't have to go super thick with my dubbing noodle on the way to the eye, as I'm gonna bring it back down again towards the foam. So this first wrap forward, I'm just kind of doing a more light and wispy dubbing noodle. And then as I come back, I will make sure that it's even and a little bit tapered. So I want the head to be a little thicker than the rear portion. And I'm gonna skip ahead of that tie-in point because we're gonna be tying lots of material in there anyways, up over top. So now I'm just gonna wrap this forward, tighten as needed, all the way forward. Gonna leave myself a little bit of space behind the eye. And then I'm gonna go back over, start creating that little bit of bulk. So if I gotta take a few wraps in the same place, that's what I do. And then it's gonna start to thin and taper out again towards the back. Just like so. And then I'm gonna bring my thread right back up against that foam. So hopefully you got something like this. We've got the head dubbed. I just find it's easier if you do this at this point versus trying to pull the foam back and do it later. And the color of thread helps because we can wrap thread through that dubbing and you're not even gonna tell that it's there. Okay, next piece. Foam. We're going to yellow now. Okay. Now this piece of yellow foam, I'm gonna cut myself about a 4-inch piece just so it's not too long and cumbersome. And when I come to this one, I'm gonna cut this one into a point. So I'm just gonna cut it like so on that side. Come over here, try to keep the angle that you're cutting even, something like that, okay? Now I'm gonna lay this down off the back of the fly, and I want where I started cutting from, so you can see that edge, I want that to meet where I left my foam at the back. So just the point portion, the tapered portion, is gonna sit out behind the fly. Now from here, I wanna tie this in right on top of the hook shank, just like we did the last one. Kind of do that loose wrap, kind of get it sorted, a couple more heavier ones, and then pull tight. And the reason we don't want that first one pulled tight is it's gonna cut right through that foam. It's another reason we don't use super thin foam, or sorry, thin thread, because it will cut right through the foam. Now the next few pieces we put in are just gonna look like they're sticking straight up. Don't worry, this has a process to the fly, and those are gonna start to lay back as we tie in other materials. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do is go grab one single strand, long strand of crystal flash out of your kit. Okay, so you got a whole bunch of it in here. Just grab yourself a long strand, and I'm gonna double it over and get the tips to match up roughly. Get them pretty close to the same spot. Once I have those pretty much matched up like so, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna cut the loop at the bottom, right down here. And now what I need to do is match up those tips. So I got 2 tips up top here, and I wanna match those with the 2 tips on the bottom, where we're gonna do one more time of cutting it. So get them pretty close to similar length. So when I'm done with this, I'm gonna have 4 strands. So then I come in here with my loops and snip them. Now I should have 4 strands in total, okay? Now I wanna evenly disperse them on either side of my thread. And we're gonna do this a few times with materials on this fly. I get the tips pretty much aligned, and now I'm gonna use my thread to pull down and set that. So if this fly started to come unraveled, the reason we don't just tie it in by the ends is if it came unraveled a little bit, that flash could pull right out, but being doubled over would be a lot more difficult for that to happen. Now I'm just gonna take a couple more thread wraps right here, and we're gonna build up a ton of thread wraps up on this piece, just the way it goes. I'm gonna trim this flash just slightly longer than the tail, that yellow foam. And we're gonna get on to the next material, which is gonna be some more foam. Now we're gonna come back to our peach colored foam, and I'm just gonna roughly measure this out so that it's about the same length as that yellow foam. And I'm gonna mark that spot, and then I'm gonna double it over. So I'm gonna have a folded piece that's roughly right there. I'm gonna match where that is, and I'm gonna cut it. We're gonna tie this next to it in, and this is the wing. We would call this the wing of the fly. So I basically just got one piece of foam. It's like this. When I fold it in half, it's gonna get tied in right on top. Now before I tie that in though, I'm just gonna cut off the very edges of the corners. And these foam, when they tie in, aren't gonna sit perfectly the same length, and that's fine. It's just the way it is with this foam. One side's gonna be a little bit different shape or different little length. So I've done that. I've got it folded. Now I'm gonna lay this just ahead of that flash where I made that crease in it. So I'm just tying it in right in the middle. Same thing, how we tied it in, couple of looser wraps, a couple more, then you can tighten it. Tighten it down. And then I'm gonna take, so I've got 2 folded pieces here. I'm gonna fold those back so you can see your length. Slightly extended behind the other ones, so I am gonna trim those just a smidge because it's a little bit long. Trim them off and then square the corners again. Easy enough to do. It's a little bit better length, good. Now I'm gonna drive some thread wraps in front of it, just a couple. And we're gonna get on to our next material. So next thing we're gonna tie in is we're gonna tie in some parapost, like we made our post out of the last fly with the same material, this parapost material. I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna grab myself, maybe 3 inches off of here. It's more than we need, but there's lots there. I am gonna pull out just a little bit of it. I don't need all of it, but I'm gonna take just a smidge of it out of that clump, pull it apart. And I'm gonna kind of roll it in my fingers like so. And now I'm gonna tie it in like I did the flash. For the same reason of durability, I'm gonna fold it over my thread. I'm gonna pull that foam back, and I'm gonna tie it in right in the middle, in front of that wing, and behind the yellow foam. So it's gonna sit just like this. Again, it's gonna sit straight up for right now, but it's all gonna lay back when we get to the next pieces of foam in. So I'm gonna take a couple thread wraps there, make sure that's good and secure. That's laying back. We'll cut that here in a little bit to length. It's a little long for now. Now we're gonna go to our next piece of foam, which is gonna be our brown foam. We're gonna come in here, and this time we're gonna cut something a little different on the brown foam. So I'm gonna cut it, and then I'm gonna show you what it looks like, just because I have to kind of look at this to be able to get it cut properly. And I'm just gonna cut this foam down to a few inches so it's not super long. And how we want this one cut is kind of that reverse triangle that we tied on the yellow one, is we're gonna cut it like so. So we want this little groove there, and that's actually gonna give a spot for that parapost to sit in. It's gonna allow it to stand up a little bit more than the foam stands up. So essentially, that groove is gonna sit right there on that parapost. I'm gonna lay this back, and I want this to extend a little ways back onto that peach colored foam. So I'm gonna leave it somewhere right in there. Okay, it's a little bit long. And I'm gonna come in here, tie that piece of foam in. Same way we've done all of them. get tighter with a few more wraps. And so now you can see that that parapost has a groove to sit in. Okay, because we're still got one more piece of foam to add in, believe it or not. Last piece of foam we're gonna tie in on this one is gonna be some orange cider foam. So for this one, again, I'm gonna cut it down to about 1 inch so it's easier to work with. Something like this. And this one, we're just gonna have a straight cut on. And this is gonna help that wing and everything else to sit back. Now I'm gonna tie it just not all the way up towards the end of the brown, just slightly back. And this is what's gonna help keep that wing sitting back. Tie that in right there. Again, same way we've tied it all in. And by this point, you're probably thinking that's a lot of foam. And it is a lot of foam, and that's why this fly is gonna float so well and really be advantageous as far as that goes. Okay, that's the last piece of foam we're gonna tie in. We gotta get to work on some legs, but first I'm gonna come in here and trim this wing. So this wing, we're not gonna leave super long. We're gonna cut it about halfway back down that peach foam, just like that. We just want that little bit of white cider to help us. That orange foam is gonna help us see it as well in the water. Now I want you to go to your legs. You got a whole bunch of barred brown and black legs like this. I want you to grab off some pairs. So I want you to grab them off so that there's two together. So there's just, you can tell there's just two little bits of rubber legs attached to each other. And we're gonna come about 1/3 of the way down that overall length that we've cut for you. And we're gonna tie a simple overhand knot in it. Just a granny knot, one overhand knot, and I'm gonna pull that nice and tight. This is gonna be forming a downward angle on our legs. So hopefully when we tie them in, those legs sit down like that. Okay, so I'm doing that to 1. Now I want you to go ahead and do that to a second set of a pair. So I'll peel another 2 off, come in here, tie that overhand knot in about 1/3 of the way back down again. Pull that nice and tight. Now it doesn't hurt to drop some super glue on those knots too. That'll help give some durability. Not necessary if you pull them good and tight, but sometimes they can come unraveled. Okay, so now I've got 2 of those like that. I got this nice long piece at the other end. Now I want to tie these in so that that leg is pointed down. So if I were to flip this the other way, those legs are going to kind of prop themselves up in the air, which I don't want, so I'll flip it down. You're tying against 2 pieces of rubber legs, so you can pick a side and it should angle the way you want it to. Now I want this to extend that knuckle, excuse me, or that knee or that knuckle to extend about roughly back to the back of the foam that's underneath. Not the end of this foam up here, but the foam that's right here, okay? And I'm just gonna lay that against the side. Make sure that's angled down, still not angled down, so I'm gonna change that one more time. Find that side. And I'm gonna tie that in right where I tied in all that foam. Do a couple of wraps, let your bobbin hang, and I can just check it for length. Look over top. It's not an exact science, but you wanna get it roughly back to there, which I'm happy with, looks good. Now, I'm gonna grab my other knuckle and I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the near side of the fly towards myself. Again, orient it so that it's hanging back and down. Try to get it right back to kind of matching. I'm just gonna do a couple of loose wraps so that once this is in, I can look over top again and match the 2 legs. Not super critical on their length, more critical that they're the same length. So I look over top, I can show that to you there. They look like they're pretty much matching. I'm happy with that, okay? So that's good. I'm gonna take a couple more wraps to make sure those legs are locked in, and then we're gonna move forward up the fly. Now, in kind of one swooping motion, I'm gonna lift everything up. And again, this is why I use the color thread I did, because I can work it through this dubbing. In one wrap forward, I'm gonna do a nice wide open wrap. I'm gonna come all the way forward to the eye. I'm gonna take a couple of thread wraps right at the eye, leaving a little bit of space behind the eye as I start tying in this foam now, okay? Now I'm gonna come to my yellow foam first. And this is where things are gonna get busy with a lot of legs and stuff going in and antennas, but it's not too bad. So tie this foam down the same we've been tying all the foam down. Kind of a loose wrap, a couple more, and then make sure it's right up on top of the hook, and then pull it tight. And if it's not quite right, you just turn it, make sure it's oriented the way you want it to be. And now we gotta tie in the antenna. So now I just want you to go grab a single strand of your rubber legs, just one single strand like this. And I'm gonna double it over my thread, just how I tied in my posts and how I tied in that flash. Keep it even length on both sides. And now this guy's gonna get tied in right on top of the yellow foam, right here. Take a couple of thread wraps to make sure that's locked in. Now these guys, although they're antennas, they're probably just gonna wanna go wherever they wanna go. That's okay. We can orient them once we get the next piece of foam tied in. I want to take a thread wrap behind the legs as well. Make sure they're good and locked down and aren't going to slip out. Now, they're all kind of all over the place, but we'll fix that in a second. Now I'm going to let that brown foam come forward. And I'm going to tie them right on top of those antennae and on top of that yellow foam. So I'm kind of going to hold it there. That little leg is, or that antenna is going to get in the way, but that's okay. I'm going to tie that tight. Couple wraps, and now I can come in here and grab that antenna, and I can actually, now this foam is going to lock it where I want it to be, so it's going to go straight out the head of the fly. And I can lay that foam back down now, and I'm just going to do a couple more wraps, make sure it's secure. Your antenna should be pretty much going right out on top of that yellow foam, right in the center. Now we got one more piece of foam to come down. We're going to bring that orange foam right down on top, our cider foam, get those mid legs that we had left on there out of the way. Come up and over, secure that orange foam. This is kind of your last tie-in for the foam, so make sure it's all good and secure. We should be left with something that looks like this right now. Okay, got those antennae out the front, we got our back legs. We actually are gonna be removing these tag ends here shortly at the end, but they're okay where they are for now as well. Now from here, just like we did in the back and we made those little knuckly legs, I need you to make another set. I need you to make us another set of 2. So we're gonna, again, grab 2 that are together. We're gonna tie that same overhand knot in them, about a third of the way back, pull that knot nice and tight. There's my knuckle. Gonna do it on one more set. And these are gonna be our front legs. And they're also gonna be nice and turned down, hopefully, when we tie them in because of this knot. Pull our knot tight, good and snug. And now we're just gonna come in here and tie these ones in the front. And we want these ones to extend a little bit out ahead of the fly, but we don't want them to go crazy. We don't want them to be way, way out in front. Because remember, the head of the fly is gonna end just in front of my thread. So when I come and lay these guys in, they're gonna get tied in right here where that foam is. Make sure they're oriented down, just like the other ones were in the back. We're gonna come in here with a couple of loose wraps just to kind of get them secured. And if we need to adjust them at all, those ones actually worked out perfect. Don't need to do much adjustment. Now I'm gonna come to the other knuckle, the other rubber legs, and then these guys are gonna go on the near side of the fly towards myself. Again, just try to match that length so that the front and the back are similar, or so that the 2 front ones are similar in length. And I'll get those ones tied in on this side of the fly. Again, couple loose wraps, just so I can then look from on top, make sure they look similar. And once I'm happy with that, I can take a couple more thread wraps to secure that down. We're almost there, guys. We're in the home stretch. Now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull everything back. All of that material, expose the eye, come down underneath it and get some thread wraps right behind the eye. We're gonna get our thread out of the way here in just a second. Now go ahead and whip finish it right here or use your half hitch. Again, I'm gonna use my half hitch today. Up over the eye. This is just our finishing knot. Definitely can put some resin here if need be, but these couple of knots are gonna hold this heavier thread quite well. But some resin never hurts. I'm gonna pull that tight. And then I'm gonna come in here and trim out my thread. So it's out of the way. Now we just have a little bit of trimming to do on everything. So the first thing we're gonna work on trimming is we're gonna work on trimming out the foam. So you have your antenna, so you wanna be really careful that you don't cut those out because those are important to the fly and we did the work to put them in. I'm just gonna come probably a hook gap in width in front of the fly and snip off that yellow. And we're just gonna snip it off square, okay? Now, antennae are still there. I'm gonna lay the brown foam down on top and I wanna cut it as similar in length as possible without cutting my antenna, okay? And then I wanna cut my orange foam shorter than my brown foam, just like that. Okay, so we kinda got those 3 stages, similar, then shorter. Just like that. Now, we gotta get to trimming some legs and get some of the legs separated. The first thing I suggest doing is on each of the knuckled legs we tied in, so on the sides, we have these doubled over legs. We're not using them. We're gonna add in another piece here in a second, but these ones we just need to get out of the way. Don't cut them right at the fly. Leave a little bit of length, 1/4 inch or so, in case something pulls on it, they're not just gonna pull right out. So get those ones aside. Trim those ones out. Get the ones on this side trimmed out. Just make sure you're not cutting the ones that have the knuckles on them because those are the ones we want. Now this just frees up the fly and makes it look a little bit better to get trimming the rest of the legs. Now the antenna, we don't want them that long. If you tied in one full piece, like I had suggested, just cut that in half for that length. So those antenna lengths gonna be something like that, okay? Now on each of these doubled over legs, I want you to now come down to the base of them and break them apart and pull up to that knot. So we're gonna separate up to the knot and go around and do that on all four, the front, back, front, back. We're actually gonna be trimming out one of them, but it's good to do this first because then we can see which one is actually angled down better, and then we can make our choice on which one's better to cut out. Because one of them's probably gonna sit a little nicer than the other. I just kind of yank on them till they separate. I'll come to the back one, do the same thing. Till they separate. Now, while looking at them, you're gonna tell that one of the two is pointed down a little better than the other. So then just come in and trim one out. And when you trim them out, I want you to, again, like we did back here, leave just a little bit extra below the knuckle so that in case that knot comes undone, either you can get it back together or you have a little bit of wiggle room. Trim that out and then do the same to the back ones on the other side, the near side of the fly. Leave just a little extra. Just pick the one that's a little angled down better than the other one. So we should be left with something that looks like this. So those legs are just now singles below the knuckle, okay? Now we're gonna cut those to length. So we don't want this to be super long below the knuckle because the leg is already spread all the way out and it's just the knee joint and then what's below it. So it's a bit of an eyeball. As long as they're all similar in length, I'm gonna cut that one right about there. So you can see if I tip that down, it's not super long. It's about half the length that it is from the fly to it. But just make sure that they're all pretty similar in length. The back ones and the front ones below the knuckle. You can always go around and just kind of change them a little bit as need be. Now, we're pretty much there, guys. The last thing I'm gonna show you how to do is we actually do need one more set of legs. And that set of legs is gonna go right in between the orange foam and the black foam up here. And now how are you gonna get that through there? I'll show you a little technique. So go ahead and grab one of your spare hooks out of your kit or any other kind of little bit bigger streamer hook you have lying around your desk. I'm gonna stick this in from the near side of the fly between the orange and brown foam. I'm just gonna press that through till the eye pops out the other side. Now go ahead and grab just a single strand of rubber legs. And you're gonna wanna try to get that single strand to come up through the eye. And I know it fits because I've done a few of these already with this hook. And it just so happens that the one in your kit actually fits. Unless I have the one eye that it won't work on for some reason. Which would just be hilarious. But these legs are properly sized to fit through there. And of course this hook's not gonna do it. Yeah, right? I'm gonna grab a different one here. But they should go right through that hook eye. So if one of those hooks has a little burr in it or something, it might not want to. So just find a different one and try. And you just want to get that to go between the brown and the orange foam. Pop it out. Let's try this one. This one looks a little more open than the last one. There, that one went right through. Now I'm just going to pull a little piece of it through so it's kind of sitting like that. So I just got a little bit through the eye. And now I'm going to pull back on that hook until that goes through the foam and pops out the other side. So it looks like that. Okay? Really cool little technique. Now, we want these legs not to be super long, but I'm gonna pull it a little bit shorter. I'll show you like this. So I'm gonna pull this a little shorter on this side. And now so that I know that that leg's not gonna slip out, I'm gonna take my super glue or take some resin of some kind that you have, just so this sticks to the foam itself. And I'm just gonna put a little dab right where I want that to sit. And then I'm gonna pull this back through. Just like that. And now that's just gonna lock in place. I felt that super glue grab the foam and it stops instantly. Now all I gotta do is trim these legs. So I wanna trim them. These ones are gonna be a little shorter because they're not at that angle. Trim them like that. Look from the top. Match up the other side as well. So what I'm left with, something that looks like that.
I can't see that side of the paper.
Sorry. Not better.
Yeah. Best background music in the fly tying world. Nice fly.
And there it
Epic
is, guys.
tie. Fantastic, Tim.
The dancing Ricky Stone. And this
Rick
one, guys,
Manny.
like so many variable colors you could do with this. This is more in the squala color, but do it in golden stone, do it in salmon fly and darker oranges and blacks. Just a super awesome
Purple.
pattern. Purple. And it's going to float like a dream. And that's what you want. And you're going to get that body sitting
Andrew
underneath.
Grillo's Fly Fishing. You can go on Instagram and follow Andrew Grillo's Fly Fishing. He is the creator of this fly. Rick Matney, also on Instagram. So reach out to them and say, we are tying your dancing Ricky. Because great job. I just want to point out a comment that Jeff made. Crap. Tim, you're a really good fly tire, and I second that.
Yeah,
and I
thanks,
third
Jeff.
that. And again, impressive as albeit.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully that went well for you guys too.
Quick question I had is why not put the last leg between the brown and the yellow?
I think honestly, it's just tough to get through it because that foam is tied
That's a
tighter
good point.
than the top one. Likely those legs aren't even going to get seen unless they're just looking up and see that profile of the legs because that part shouldn't really be under the water, to be honest. But I think those legs just sit on the film.
Yeah. Tickle the film.
Tickle the film.
Jill said very cool. So great tie, great tips. Switch over your mic. And
There we go.
Even better.
Ooh. Much better.
Well, guys, you hung out with us for a really long time.
Trevor likes it. Tie some up, buddy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Favorite tie so far?
Yeah, the foam is fun because it all just kind of comes together and it's pretty epic.
And most foam is pretty big, which it makes fun, and it's not super small. You got to get that sticker.
You got to get it. You got to get the milestone stickers. So tie up all the foam. Foam is fun. And to get the milestones, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just got to give it a rip. We just want you guys to... We really want success this year, and we've seen it. You guys are sharing a lot in the Facebook group. If you're not a part of the Facebook group, the official Thursday Night Live Fly Tying Facebook group, join it. And so everyone's sharing their ties. Everyone's keeping up. If you can, just go over to the quick ties. Just give them a watch. Throw a comment down. They'll be up sometime tomorrow. And yeah, like Mike said, he is going to have to tie this tomorrow. It looks like a bit of a blob. But he said he's rattled that the wizard's daughter, the wizard's kid.
Sorry, Mike. I know.
He's like, my first FLYINGO win, and I have to deal with the wizard's daughter. Wizardla.
I thought she was gonna be nice.
And well, I don't think. I don't nothing. I always go take a pee and come back, and it's over.
Yeah. Touche.
At least recently. That's what I've.
Yes,
started
Terry.
to
That
do.
is a serious foam party.
Ah, very impressive. I almost exited the final scene.
Don't do that.
And just so everybody knows, the Calgary Flames have made a big blockbuster trade tonight. And looks like they're winning 4-1. So in the good news department, that is that. In the great news department, that is one heck of a tie. Man, that thing is going to float. Like,
yeah.
There's probably some of these that have broke off and they're still floating.
There is somewhere in Hudson's Bay now.
Somewhere.
They made it all
in
over
the
there.
world.
Nice.
These flies are still floating. So we went overtime, and that's why you're hearing the K-pop. And now, folks,
Like it.
It is a time for us to
Time for the
say
wins.
we're about finished.
Almost there. But first, the most important part of the show. What is your win? What is important now?
What is important now? So we share. Sharing is caring. It's a place for us to be goofy, tie some flies, do the things we love, try some beer, tell some terrible jokes. But this part of the show, if you stuck around this long, you deserve a milestone sticker all by itself, called the Sticker Arounder the Longest. Yeah, we usually have a time schedule, but lately we haven't. So in this segment, the final segment before we close the curtains on season 7, episode 5, we'll never have this again. The chance to tie these two flies. With you guys, the time spent, we appreciate everybody who tuned in and gave us their Thursday evening. We appreciate that. it makes us feel cherished and important. And so kind of how this works is we'll share our wins of the week, what's important now. It can be positive. It can just be whatever is important now. Share it with us. And Tim will share, I'll share, and then you guys will share, and we'll throw your comments up on the screen and we'll read them, and we're just here until it's over. So if you got to go, we appreciate you coming. And if you haven't shared before, highly appreciate or recommend sharing. Kind of feels good. Get it off your chest, whatever it is.
Yeah.
All right, Tim.
All right. Well, I actually have a couple wins, so I'm gonna talk about a couple of them. So first off, this weekend I got to get away. This past weekend, got to get away on a fishing trip with a couple of friends and Ren. Just had a fantastic time, a fellowship with some good people I haven't got to see a lot of since summer. Actually, all since summer, both of them. So it was just a really good time to get away and catch some fish and tell some lies and just have a good hangout, which was awesome. And then something today that as I was traveling back from Calgary, something struck me. And for me in my personal life right now, there's this, I feel like, and I think we all feel it sometimes, but quite a bit of uncertainty. And I don't know, it's just sometimes those things just grab you and you're like, what is it that I need to make me feel secure and safe and know that things are going to turn out okay? And it just, it hit me. Like there's this passage of scripture that my dad read during our video, our Father's Day video. Yeah. And I was just like, I know it's his favorite Psalm. It's Psalm 91. And I just want to read a little bit of it for you because I found that this, whether it's what you believe or not, I just think these words have a lot of weight. So I'm just going to read you a couple verses. So it says, "He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." And this is my favorite part. "I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be my shield and my buckler." And I just found for me today, I was driving home, I was like, and I just thought, I'm going to go watch that video. And I watched it, and just like hearing my dad say those words are just like, it's so powerful.
I know.
It just struck me.
And in the video, when he said those words, he was just doing a mic check.
Yeah, he just, but that's what he chose to use because to him it was so meaningful. And powerful. So I guess I just say, and when times are uncertain and things aren't always clear for the path ahead, just know that there is someone looking over you, and whether that's your friends or your faith,
always,
or hopefully both.
Yeah, that's super cool. If you haven't seen that video, it's on our YouTube channel. I think it's called Bible Family Hunting or
Bible Family Fishing and Hunting.
Yeah. Super cool, fun story with Tim and his dad and Ren, and yeah, that's awesome. Win for the week. So fun week. Kids had kind of it off for the most part. It's finals week.
Test week.
Every second week is off.
Every Friday for sure.
Yeah, and it's always fun because when they get time off, it's like, how do we spend time doing stuff? And yesterday was a little impromptu day. Matea and her friend Maggie, we just kind of all been going to the gym in the morning, and we had this grand idea that we were gonna go swim. I don't swim. We were gonna go swim after, and when we got to the pool after our morning workout, the hot tub, big sign saying the hot tub was down.
Oh no!
So I bailed.
Oh,
I was like, yeah, I might have sounded tough, saying I was gonna go swim laps, but I was probably just gonna go sit in the hot tub. So anyways, after that, we're just like, what's up? Nothing to do. And we just did we call it a tropical vacation because drive an hour south and it's 10 degrees warmer in Calgary. So I just took the girls in, they got their toes done, and really we did nothing magical. We saw a robbery at Lululemon, so that was pretty cool. And it's just time. We just got to spend time together. And yeah, win of the week is just spending time with people that mean a lot.
Well, what was that we talked about a few weeks ago? You said it very well. It's about spending time, quality time. You had a word for it. I can't remember how you said it, but being in the now, even though it might not seem like a lot, it's just being with your people.
Just being present.
Yeah, being
Now
present.
I'm trying to think of my word.
I know. I have to go back and look at that.
Is that on TNL?
Yeah, I think it was the first episode, actually. First or second. Yeah.
Being now in the present.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just watch the clock during TNL and I'm like, oh my goodness, we're so far behind. And then I don't know why, but it's like, whatever. We're just all here hanging out. Like, we have no schedule. Well, we have a schedule, sort of, whatever. We tie some flies, but I guess I'm just trying to teach myself to just sit in it.
Yeah.
Spend the time. And like Aaron said last week, still just so profound, is like looking for your sanctuary moments. And I've just had a lot of fun this year with TNL.
So much fun.
Yeah, we just talked about like just letting go of some people that didn't belong, and the stress that just let go, and just being in the now more with you guys.
Yeah.
That beer was good. All beers were pretty good.
They were good tonight. Good lineup.
Bacon, amazing.
Over the top.
You guys, Mike, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry. I'm just sorry that happened to you. I thought, I didn't really know how she would be.
I didn't know
she'd be,
either.
Like, super kind.
She wasn't as creepy as I thought she might be, but
Roger said if he gets one of these flies stuck in the tree's getting chopped down.
That's great.
All right, Mr. McKenna, his win wasn't the FLYINGO. But he's headed to Devi's River with a good buddy. Tomorrow, amazing river, and I'm going to throw some TNL flies.
Awesome.
Yes.
Wicked.
Chuck some anger out. Yeah.
Brent Struthers, big win this week. Got the all clear from the hip surgeon at my 1-year follow-up. Hard to believe it's been a year. Reflecting, my recovery and return to a new normal wouldn't have been such a success without the support of my family, friends, and communities like this. A big thank you to all OQP.
That's crazy.
How's it been a year? Yeah. Let's give his life back. It's amazing.
Yeah. Mr. Jones, my win is this time evening. It was a bit of a gong show with a couple of players suffering some serious injuries tonight while coaching basketball, and wish them all a speedy recovery.
Yeah.
Speedy and healthy recovery.
Tamara, finally got to take my daughter for imaging referral on her knee after a gymnastics injury in December. One step closer to hopefully getting her back in the gym.
Nice.
Yeah. Awesome.
Mr. Pape. Love this man. My win has been the show this week. Been pretty shitty here in the old USA with all the political effery and the tragedies, the crash that happened. Did you hear about that?
No.
Like in the like last night, an airplane was landing in Washington D.C. and it hit a military helicopter, and they all went in the Potomac River.
I did not hear that. Crazy.
Yeah, it's weird though. Like so profound and terrible. I don't think anyone survived, but it's just not. It just doesn't make the news anymore, which is like a bigger thing where it's like we have this calloused scar tissue society where it's just not enough. It's got to go deeper and deeper. We don't feel it anymore. And that's unfortunately sad.
Yeah. Andy, win this week. Played hooky at work and took Eli ice fishing to Sylvan Lake today. He caught 97. Holy smokes. And I caught 94, but got the biggest one. What are you using? Dang.
Jeez.
The shop is busy. Family is healthy. Life is good. Only quality people. Love people catch fish. Thanks for another great Thursday, boys. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, Mr. Hayden, I know this guy. Matthew Scornato got a hat trick in the Flames one.
Nice.
I knew he'd be excited about that.
That's wicked. That me? Oh, it is me. Win of the week for Cole. Was catching my personal best pike. Great weekend with the boys. Love my family and hoping we can kick this cold that is kicking the crap out of us. Take care, everyone. I hope you feel better.
You got it again, buddy.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear. Mr. Krapf. My win of the week is this. I look forward to Thursday every week to watch you guys and listen to the great stories. Selk River is a close second for some river therapy for me. The views out there are out of this world. It's not about the fish. It's never.
Amazing.
You'll say it's about the fish until you really actually get it. And then when you can truly say it's not about the... When you can truly go on a guided trip and pay money and say it's not about the fish, I think you're in an altered, like...
Yeah, you're
in a special dimension.
category. Yeah. Mr. Ritzko, this week's win. I am headed home for a short break after 8 days of work. Well, safe travels, buddy.
18 days.
It's a lot of
Definitely,
days.
it's not going to be nice this week to go climbing.
No.
Cameron, win this week is just to make it through another one. Happy to have a night to just tune out all the crap and watch, listen, and laugh along. Bernie and Erd, these two.
Yeah. My win was getting out to the river for a quick fish. Was a solo adventure, but sometimes that's the best way to absorb your surroundings and really appreciate what you have. Great show as usual, guys. Love y'all.
Yeah, you've watched their banter going on here. Mr. Roger Beatty, my win started PT for some lower back issues. Hard work, but I can already feel progress. Just like you're going to feel on these flies when I sit down and tie them all. Headed out tomorrow to do a little hunting, food, and tying materials all in one shot. Pun intended.
Don't miss.
Get my...
Ooh, I'll let you do this one.
Oh, that's another one I know. My win for the week is getting an interview for a new contract tomorrow. And if anybody knew how big that was,
it's huge. Proud of you.
They would give a round of clicks.
Let's do it. All the clicks.
All the clicks. So fun. Jill Dooley, I'm not sure if 1 week is your win or if
1 week.
1 week. That's a win.
It's
What's
mystery.
important now is 1 week.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful thing.
Well, if you're
what a
not
great
in
week.
bed at midnight like Johnny Lauren is,
It's because you better be up time flies.
we do Polaroids whenever we dress up, just like this. But somehow every time I get in a photo with someone a little smaller than me, I feel like I'm just like holding him for all the love in the world.
Well, you were.
Well, it's true because I do love you, brother.
I love you
and
too,
I'm
man.
so grateful for you.
It's
You're
mutual.
a phenomenal tire, and I just think it's impressive that you just do it live. And you're panicking every day, and you're stressed, and you're like, I don't know. And I'm like, dude, it is what it is.
Yeah, but you don't. Yeah, that's only one side of the story.
Yeah.
Because you're over there just with 1,000 buttons to push, and I just get to sit here and tie and focus on one thing. What you do, no one else could do.
Sometimes I push the right button.
No.
Sometimes
Great teams are formed
that's
with
right.
brothers.
It's like,
That's all it is.
I don't do that. You don't do this, and it's not. It's what it's about.
Yeah.
It is absolutely beautiful.
Oh man.
Ah, yeah. All right.
Night all.
Well, it's time to go crush some more of Maggie's bait. Guys, go
Yeah.
pre-order stuff. I'll pick it up. Oh, there we go. Jill's finishing.
1 week since rotator cuff surgery on my dominant arm. Oof, getting a few crappy jigs tied. Even getting the whip finish.
Oh, wow.
Left-handed. Well done.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I can hardly do it with my good hand.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
What a night.
another epic night. It's kind of fun when you... Well, see, next week is going to be the Gasolina Perdigon and the Chai Tea Nymph, and I can promise you, you will be able to follow along,
Yeah.
and we're going to have to think of activities to do because...
We got lots of activities. Don't worry. There's so much room for activities.
There's so much room. I have to like stop being so bored all week because I
Oh man, are you kidding me?
keep coming up with too
No,
much. It's great.
It's
you guys,
so good. The creativity.
Doug Baldy Bob or whatever his name is. I don't even know.
Doug.
Doug. Bad joke. I can do a cartoon
Oh,
of bad joke
man.
Doug. What I was looking for was to let you guys know that February 13th, okay, we are doing we call it taco night because maybe you can't say it's south of the American border night. But yeah, we've done it before, and Novland's going to be up here. He's going to be on the couch making tacos for us that night. So theme up, dress up, Day of the Dead, whatever kind of thing you want to do, and that will be the half pint streamer and half pint midge.
Couple of half.
Maybe
pints.
we'll be doing some tequila shots, but put that one in your notes.
Dress up. It's fun.
And
send us some photos.
It is fun. And then I got a couple more fun costume nights. I got a cosplay night coming up.
Oh.
But next week, we don't know. We'll surprise you. Flies are pretty simple.
Yeah.
Bring your A game.
Be a breeze.
Bring a game.
A game.
All right. Check out the quick tie. Send us a message. Tag us in your flies. We love you guys. We are so grateful that you're sitting here from 10 o'clock on.
You see, for old Tom, good night, everyone. It's 2 minutes Friday here now. Thanks for sticking around on midnight, buddy.
Friday morning flies. We should have a scene.
Oh, it should.
10 o'clock. It's like changes everything. All right.
All right. Love you guys.
No cheesy sign-offs because I gave them all to Tim.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to read one.
Well, I'll just leave you with be gracious, be kind, and be someone's reason to smile.
That's right. We love you guys.
Love you.
Till next Thursday. We are out of here.
Times and places are all in who you share them with, and it's life, and the point is enjoying who you share it with. Joy is who you share it with. And the weeks and the weekends are keeping close who you spend it with. And in time, what you find is the time is who you spend it with. Joy is who you share it with. Who you share it with. Who you share it with. Yeah, now